Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't believe I'm saying this, but for the 150th week in a row, this is From the Sidelines. Thank you for tuning in for 150 weeks. That's absolutely crazy to me. We're popping bottles of champagne over here. We're having a good time, but we're not celebrating too early. We're still 6 episodes away from that magical 3-year anniversary. So when we hit that, we'll have some more fun. Maybe we'll have a special guest or two. But for tonight, we got the boys. We're back in a call every week, as always. Steven Hatch, my man. You got your fan going in the background.
Dude,
I into my hearing right now.
As soon as you press record, I'm like, well, shit. So I knew that was coming a second ago. So as soon as you throw it over to Brando, it's going off. So I'm ready.
It's okay.
It's great to be here.
Okay.
It's great to be here.
I want you comfortable. I need you relaxed and in the zone for tonight's big ass episode number
it's
150.
Hot, dude. 103 over here. It's a little hot, So we're staying alive. But dude, 150, bro. Hey, let me just say, Ryan. Love you, bro. It's been a one hell of a journey,
man.
Bro. Seriously, dude.
3 years. We were 3 years younger when we started this. I was 24. Yeah, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Well, now a few weeks from 3 years, but dude, we're so close. We're so close, and it just feels absolutely bananas to think of how far we've come.
Yo, you remember Evan Fernandez?
Who?
Yeah, me neither. So moving forward, we got to bring in our other co-host who has made it all the way from episode 20. He's missed a few other on the way, so he's not officially the 150 crew, but we'll give him the same credit. Brando, Baird, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, honorable mention here.
You're our Taylor.
Exactly. Yeah.
You stole Lefty's job.
Who cares?
Can we make that part of the lores that you stole AK's job?
Ooh, Dude, I mean, is it AK? Yeah, I did. No, we did have one episode.
Because AK would be our wings.
Yeah.
We had. Sorry,
you're
right.
Hey, no, I take all the money. I stepped in. They paid me millions. Honestly,
you're getting money from this, buddy.
I'm not he must have a different NECTR contract than we do.
Yeah, I think he does. It's actually his personal Welts contract he signed.
Yeah, he does look pretty good in it. So
he's got all the shit that he keeps getting sent over there.
Top model.
Hey man,
shout out to Corey and the
boys right
behind Welts.
What can I say? Maybe I'll split you guys in.
It's the bloodline.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we love it, boys. Before we get any further, we got to do that thing we do. We got to tell you about our sponsors. 3 great companies who have been with us for a while. One a little bit newer, but they're still a great sponsor and great support over here on the show. First and foremost, they've been with us the longest, NECTR Energy, the awesome little energy pouch. They've got some new products up. New pouches products are up and ready. So, this product has got the nicotine and the nicotine. It's got no nicotine, no tobacco, but it does have caffeine and a neurotropic in it. So those are the 2 big advantages of the NECTR product. But they did release a kind of upgraded version. So there's a couple new flavors that they released with it, as well as a different formulation. There's a little more caffeine in that one. I think they may have, kind of messed with the flavors and stuff a little bit too. But definitely, if you have not checked out NECTR Energy yet, now is the time to do so. A whole bunch of products open for you to go try out on their website, nectar.energy, NECTR.energy. Very unique URL. We love it. But they have a whole bunch of new products, like I said, and you can try out 3 of them. We get a buy 2, get 1 free with our code MafiaProductions over at their checkout. We do love the support that the NECTR Energy guys give us over here on the show, but also just paintball in general. They've been a great Patreon supporting a lot of the bigger content creators in the game. So we appreciate them. Thank you to NECTR Energy. Go check them out one more time. Promotion code over there is MafiaProductions, just all one word. Next up, we've got the boys over at Welts Clothing. We were just talking about them. We'll bring them right back on up. Go head over to weltsclothing.com. Use that promo code Mafia_Moffitt. Save yourself 10% off at checkout. But go check out their stuff. Seriously, they've got a lot of cool things that are available always on the site. They do their limited edition drops. You've heard us talk about it. First Wednesday of every month, they've got a limited edition apparel, maybe a different colorway, maybe a strap, maybe a jersey, but you got to go over there to see. Brandon's showing off the strap right now. That's a great one that they just dropped, and we will be giving one away for free to someone from our Patreon. So make sure you stay tuned and listen to that later, because we got a lot of great giveaways coming for our Patreon members, thanks to our great sponsors, and one of them is Welts Clothing. So make sure you use promo code FTS over at weltsclothing.com. Grab yourself some awesome looking apparel and run like Brandon.
Run like Brandon.
To win.
Look good. Those thighs rubbing together almost started a fire. It's a little dry out there.
He did look great out there, man.
So.
But let's keep moving it forward to one of our other great presenting sponsors. We appreciate their support, and they've really hooked us up and made some of these things that we're going to be doing in the near coming future available. So, hey, Hormesis, you know them, you love them. Hormesis Paintball. They make some of the best headwear and apparel gear in the game, but also they are just patrons of our sport. All the stuff that Hormesis Productions have been doing, the one-on-one duel series, we genuinely stand by this company and the things that they're doing in paintball, as well as the people who are behind it. So very, very happy to be working with them. You know, I've been wearing Hormesis myself for the last couple of years, ever since Alex Frazier gave me my first one, and that's a headband that I still cherish to this day. If you want a chance to win this a limited edition Ryan Greenspan 2024 series with the white stitching, we are giving this away to one of our paid Patreons throughout this month, as well as a couple other headbands, a hat, and some other apparel, like I mentioned, the welt strap. And guys, you have great odds. I'm not gonna lie. If you go sign up and pay for the Patreon, you're probably gonna win something. So go do it. We're giving away free Hormesis product, and you're getting a bonus extra 30 minutes plus of content on the post show every single week, where we get to say whatever we want because it's behind the paywall and
whatever
not
we
listening.
want.
So there's a lot of great reasons to go check out our Patreon over at Mafia_Productions, patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. But all of that is due in part to our sponsor Hormesis and the great work that they are helping us out with. So thank you very much to guys over at Hormesis Paintball. We don't have a promo code for you. They make great stuff. Go to hormesispaintball.com,
spend your money,
put it in your cart, and support this company that is supporting paintball. We truly love them. So thank you to Hormesis. We will be talking about that a little bit more later on as well. But boys, 150. We're halfway to play the game's number. They just had to take about a month off for us to catch up, so that's good.
Nice.
But yeah, they decided to come back today, and so we're also back on the air because we can't be outdone by the bigger paintball podcast.
Hell no, dude.
We're not really a paintball podcast, but don't tell them that. We're just a comedy podcast.
Yes.
But boys, let's jump right into it. Let's stay on the paintball topic a little bit today because I saw a revolutionary product come through the pipeline today. I think the engineers of this company should be very proud of themselves.
I agree.
I saw a great Instagram post about it. It was Die Paintball. We don't give big shout outs to Die Paintball because you know why. But they somehow found a way to essentially make a Pops ASA.
Whoa.
Good job, boys.
Mind blown.
Eclipse did that 10 fucking years ago. What are we fucking talking about? I saw that post and was blown away. Like, we're seriously
Shit looks
talking
good, dude.
about a product that has already been made from a different, marker manufacturer for literally 10 years, right? It was like the Geo 3 that first had the pops or something along those lines.
Maybe like the old
I think
Egos.
my E-Tech had a pops. My E-Tech 4 back in the day had a pops.
Yeah, I really gotta go back and look. It might have been like the 2.1, maybe the 3, yeah. That was over a decade ago.
There's got to be like some kind of patent that they had to like weasel around to where it's like
Probably. Well,
100%.
More than certainly that probably is. But yeah, I just found that kind of a funny, why are you making a whole post for essentially just making a mechanic design that's already been done by another company?
At least they made a post and not just a whole new marker for it, calling it the MXR 77. You know what I'm saying? At least it's not a whole new marker with just
that actually stays in now. Don't get me started on the iPipe.
There were a lot of people that were actually having the problems with their iPipes this weekend. It was actually insane.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because it's a horrible design for a marker. There's a reason why I don't ever shoot DSRs or anything else. Hell, I even shot a Lux TM40. And Hatch, do you know what my quote about that was?
I do remember. He's like, well, just shooting a Lux because it's ass. And I'm like,
give me a fucking Planet Eclipse marker.
Yep, dude.
Planet Eclipse has never paid me. I've never been on a sponsored team for them. I will never shoot another gun. They're just the best. They don't break down on you. They don't have weird board changes that get you a gross major in overtime. Shout out Austinoni. It's just buy Planet Eclipse, all right?
Yeah, and it's just one of those. It's a workhorse. You put it in your gear bag, and honestly,
how many
if you want to be
shots do you have on your CS2?
Dude, it's been reset so many times. I easily have over 1 million.
How many seasons?
So I got it when I first joined DMG in 2018. Right.
So 7 years.
Yeah. So
and
lots of balls.
Like you said, you've replaced the board, you've replaced the Noid, but that gun has probably shot
honestly
thousands of bodies.
I've never replaced the solenoid. I've just given it to the tech, and they've like worked their magic on it. You know, they're like
Brando
knows
that's
replace the
yeah,
solenoid.
the only thing that's original is the frame and like
metal
the
frame.
body. Yeah, that's it.
And like the LPR, metal parts in that.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know what I'm talking
everything.
about. I'm not even the guy that even knows what's going on in there.
You don't
I'm
tech your marker, Brandon does.
I go, Brando, fix it, buddy. And he looks at it, opens it up, and he's like, God damn, boy, what is this? Just sees all the crusties and all the mud in there from NXL Dallas last year.
Gets me. I don't know. I've seen some people like pull their reg apart after like a day at Capital Edge or like a couple months of practicing at Capital Edge. Mm-hmm. How do you get turf beads in your ASA? Like, how the fuck is there little rubber up in the LPR spring? What is going on?
It's everywhere.
It does get everywhere. And it's mostly when it gets like really wet. That's where like it meshes with the mud.
It likes getting moist.
Gets right up in the little crevices and cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And
do be doing that.
And the thing is with just Planet Eclipse, bro, they just work.
Yeah,
like
even through all that,
you can play. You can play NXL Dallas where it's raining monsoon level 7. Go to practice the next weekend, not even clean it.
Now, you might not want to use a Geo 3. Shout out our boy Chris Caputo. He learned the hard way during that event.
That was rough.
Those boards are a little more fragile. But that's what I love is like, dude, Leverage is all using markers from like 2015. They're a pro team. Like,
dude, I'm pretty sure the Geo 3 is even from 2000. I'm pretty sure the Geo 3 is from 2012. So it's even older.
Was it 2012? I thought it was like 13 or 14.
Maybe it was World Cup 2011.
Oh, okay. That was when they like...
Maybe that was
the first couple pro versions, and then it came out the next year.
Yeah, I think so. Because I remember seeing two teams use it in 2012 for sure. And man, dude, how much time flies, dude? Because I remember watching the Reckoning series from like with Houston Heat in 2012. Like, dude, there was just paintball media was so different.
Which was the roster, X Factors, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was for 2013. That was X Factor, and I think
the first 2 seasons. Well. Yep, was X Factor 12 and 13. Then 14.
And then they went to Aftershock. Mm-hmm. And I liked Aftershock a lot because I thought that one was when they were a really interesting group of guys, and it was not what Aftershock is now. What it has like all of this like funding and all that, but it reminds me a lot of the way DMG was.
Guys. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It reminds me a lot of the way DMG is.
Especially in the mid 2010s, because they weren't a very successful paintball franchise. They still had the legacy of when they were in the early 2000s,
and they had that pressure.
But also, like even like what was it? Were they out of CPX, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so like CPX ended up...
that was
Badlands.
Badlands.
Sorry, Badlands.
Yeah, Badlands.
Sorry, yes.
Rennet,
Okay, that's very different. But yeah, like I remember like Badlands, that used to be a huge park in the Midwest, and like over time that slowly started to crumble. So like funding for the team went down. Mm-hmm. I remember, is it Mikey Bruno? He was
the coach.
Yeah, he was the coach. But like
Rennick Miller,
some of the shit that you saw that like they were getting into in the pits was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like you think Mike Hinman can lead a team kind of seriously? No, this had nothing on it.
Mike Bruno definitely goes down as one of those coaches like in history when it comes to at least documented in paintball history where dude he was the guy where. You just don't fuck around with that guy.
No.
You do what he says to a fucking T or you're cut, bro. And I really like that. And one thing I really like about the roster, this is a name that has not been said around in paintball for a long time, but it was a Swedish guy that they brought over, Jacob Tilkainen. I don't know if you remember that name in that series.
It scratches an itch, but I don't remember him that well.
I was a big fan of that guy because I was like, man, imagine coming over to a country that you're not even that familiar with, and then playing on a pro team and like being like the rookie in a way, Dude, and that's another series in itself with the rookie that Cena made.
Oh, the rookie, yeah, that's another good one.
Like so many good ones.
I personally am not a Cena fan because do you guys know the background on that?
No.
So when I finished filming Road to World Cup and Road to Pro for the DMG boys, that offseason, Bart and Dave came to me and gave me an offer and said, hey, we want to bring the Impact series back. And I was like, well, that's intimidating, but fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm down. I'll travel with you guys and try my best. Cena heard wind of this and told Bart and Dave that he would come back and do it for him. He showed up to the Vegas event, filmed practice, and didn't film a single other thing for the rest of the year. Just essentially wanted to make sure that I wasn't able to do it. He probably didn't even know who I was, so I'm not even saying it was like a targeted thing. He just heard like
someone's trying to take that job over.
Fuck, I gotta go, step in and like make sure that doesn't happen. And I was like,
damn.
I was an 8-year-old kid who would have really liked that income.
Yeah, is that the reason why we didn't get season 3?
Yeah.
Fuck,
And
dude. I was so hyped for that.
I was too, bro. I've said this multiple times on the podcast.
Well, because
I would
Bart
run
and Dave
home
wanted
to
Bart
see
and
it.
Dave wanted to do it, and that's why they brought me in. And then when Cena's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that for you guys, they were like, oh, sick, okay, cool, you're gonna bring it back. And then they like made that trailer and everything, and then it fizzled out from there.
Episodes going into NECTR.
That was when Mouse was on the team. Like that was when Mouse got brought over.
Mouse, Spica. Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. I
It was
honestly
right
thought
before
it was
Impact
COVID.
fucking went crazy. No, it was 2 years before COVID, because that was 2018.
I thought. Wait a minute.
I think you're right.
That might have been another try to bring it back, but I filmed when I was talking to them. It was 2018 that was going to happen.
Okay, I think I am.
That same year, I ended up still going to Vegas, but I just filmed DMG Pro that event.
Mm-hmm. Damn. What a
And
crazy
then
story.
made What Happens in Vegas.
I mean, for him, because it's like that was his baby. You know, that's one of those things where it's like he made a great piece of material.
It's one of the best paintball documentaries ever made. Like documentary
Easily.
series by far. 100%.
I
I will
run
always
home
give him credit for that.
from school to see it. Like whenever
Yeah,
I would see a
on PB
notification,
Nation,
like, oh, new episode of the Impact series. I don't feel very good. I got a stomach ache, and then I'd run home. You know,
Can't swim at practice today, coach. You gotta let me
you know,
know.
and that was just part of like being young in that time in the paintball culture was just that, and it was just really refreshing. But man, I wish we got the Impact series season 3. That'd be sick. And I really feel like Impact was on a high right there because at least for me, dude, it feels like teams, whenever teams have the camera on them, they always seem to do 1% better. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh well, I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, historically in paintball, you're probably right. Like 15,
I know.
That's the whole thing with 15 is like that was the last chance. They had one opportunity to keep their 15-year win streak of always winning a pro paintball event alive, and it came down to one finals match, and Kyle Spica fucking narrowly hits the buzzer right before he gets shot with a paintball to give the win to him. You can't write that shit.
I remember, bro. I remember watching that live. Greg Sewers going in for the buzzer hit, and I was like, damn, he got it. But then from my aim, because of the way the crowd was, right, because he got shot on the other side, I'm like, oh my god, he got it. But then in reality, he didn't. So in the crowd, it was just such a heartbreaker, you know, because it was just such a back and forth match the entire
Pins and
time.
needles. That is one of my favorite scenes from 15 too. It's so well done the way that Dan edited that whole piece. He's such a good editor. God, I can't wait till you guys see Iron Kids. I know,
I'm very
Hatch,
excited.
Brando, you guys seen the special, behind the scenes cut now, thanks to our friend Alex Frazee. Thank you very much, Mr. Frazee. But I'm
Love you,
even
Alex.
more excited now for you guys to watch this.
Yeah, I think that paintball media is taking a turn for such the better that paintball didn't have years and years ago. You know?
Yes,
I felt
but
like
there was
a
lax
dead
of
spot.
it. Like
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
20,
mean, like a dead spot.
2000s and like the early 2010s, but then like, when the PSP died and when all that kind of died, like funding for everything kind of really went tits up for a bit. And then you had the 2020 resurgence. You had a lot of media kind of come back into the game because we were all fired from our real life jobs.
Yeah, and it's like, well, let's just sit in front of the computer because you can go to work and,
Yeah, but you can't play paintball because that's a thing that was actually perfect for COVID stuff. You were keeping distance from people.
Yeah,
No,
I remember.
but like even if you were actually playing the game, it was a perfect game for like having COVID restrictions and like we literally wear masks on the fucking field already.
Dude,
like
and I remember there were some paintball fields where they had to put a mask and then their mask on, like their paintball mask over
crazy.
it. And I'm like, bro, what? I remember seeing photos
how
of
good
this.
were
and I'm
those
like,
guys' cardio?
dude?
Cardio and cons.
Brandon, you're playing a semi-pro match with your full fucking surgical gown on.
Yeah, no thank you. No.
I get
fucking
lightheaded
No,
with
thank
my
you.
normal mask on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yelling so much. But I couldn't even imagine just being restricted like that. That sucks. But I mean, there were a lot of times where, at least for me in the position that I was, where it was like, hey, paintball's not going to stop, right? We want everybody to come out here and get better. But obviously, the government is limiting us to like gatherings and everything like that, to where
Yeah, and we were in California at the time, so I know some of you guys in Florida are like, "What are you talking about? COVID was only 3 months long." It was not in California, all right? It was a very different,
it was
depending
a
on which state
wasteland.
you were in.
It was a wasteland over here where you could go into your town and nobody.
I think that's just Fresno.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
it was
still saw people in like SAC and other places, but it was less people for sure.
So much less. And I mean, remember what you were talking about with Vegas a couple episodes ago? You were
Yeah.
on the strip and it was just naked.
That was like
never
literally
see
the
that.
2 weeks after it happened when everyone was like, we're staying home, fucking everyone's scared, you know, and yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, you had to have an exclusive invite to come practice, basically.
One of those things that we were talking about, like media and having the resurgence of media in the game. I feel like we may go into another kind of lull period. Honestly,
Really?
I think we're having a lot of up and coming media guys like who's Dad's Paintball, Dad's Reels. I know
Dad's
he's
Reels,
doing a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
stuff out of Capital Edge. Hell yeah. I haven't met you, man, but you're taking care of my boys, so fuck yeah, I love you, brother. But like, guys, Enrique and Sam are now
was
gonna
just gonna
go
say that.
be esports videographers, and I'm telling you right now, that makes more money. That's why Cassidy Sanders left us. He was Hostile Kids. Cassidy was an OG member, and he left because Cloud9 said, hey, you want to make like 6K, your 6 figures a year to do what you're doing and not, 40K? And he was like, yeah, yes, please. But yeah, so like, I think we're seeing some of the creators that came back during COVID, gained a lot of skills in this space. They're now realizing, oh, I can go take those and do other stuff. I mean, Enrique's filming UFL matches. He's filming soccer matches. Like, I'm so proud of that man. If there's anyone who deserves it in paintball, he definitely is one of the guys who is up there with him. You also throw in like J-Mac, who's filming college sport or taking photos for college sports, trying to get into MLB photography. These are the same guys who are taking photos of you at the NXL.
Yes.
Realize that. Understand that when
Enrique
they ask
was my
you for
teammate
money,
that I won World Cup with.
Yes, yes,
dude.
You guys share a ring.
That will
And Ivan
never
does that
ever
one.
be taken from me, bro. Like me and Enrique are related on such a spiritual level, bro. No joke. And man, the talent that it requires to do that, to record a focal point like that, right? Because Enrique with paintball, there is no focal point. There are thousands of balls in the air. When you're playing soccer, dude, you are scanning for that ball on, like back and forth constantly. Like, dude, your forearms got to be ripped.
Plus, it's definitely one of those things too, where like, as you learn those games more, you're able to pick up like, oh, I see a guy crossing, no one sees him, go on him, because that's probably where the play is going to go to.
Yes.
But that's,
you
you just got to do it, because the more you do it, the more you learn those things. You
start to like foresee the future, when it's
You
like
start to read the game, just like paintball. Right?
exactly,
Yeah,
just like
100%.
that, right? When you see a player getting up on his feet, getting ready to run to the snake, it's like, all right, let me pan towards the snake, the dive zone, if you will,
Yeah.
So.
No, and like Hatch, I know when you get up on your feet and you start shifting your hip towards the edge of the bunker, you want to go run someone down. I know exactly what that muscle memory for you is, because you probably don't even realize you do it, but I've filmed it at least 100 times now, so I'm like, oh, Hatch wants to go bonsai someone. Okay, well, what's going on?
Yep, and it's just an art form, It's just really fantastic to see the people that, I mean, Enrique is my fucking family, When you win like that, your family, and it's just fantastic seeing, not competition, but community, like we've said before. It's fantastic to see, and I cannot believe how far they're going. It's awesome.
So I remember the topic I wanted to bring up, because like you said with Enrique, you winning that team with him, like you guys are kind of bonded. I feel the same way with his brother, Ivan. He was on that DMG team that I essentially lived with and, was filming. I posted my picture of me going out to Outlaw. We'll talk about that in a little bit. One of the dudes who commented on that was Ivan. And like that was so cool to me, because like we always have that connection of that year in DMG. When I went out to World Cup last year, one of the last people I saw at World Cup was Ivan Gonzalez. He was over on the pro field by himself, right by the VIP area. It was after the finals happened. Everyone else kind of filtered out. His girl, I'm not sure their relationship, but she was there with him and just kind of, waiting for him. He was kind of taking a moment. And I go up to him, and because I was just going to, give him a hug, say, oh, it was good to see you, bro. I'll see you at the next event. This dude had tears in his eyes. And he looked up at me and he's like, Ryan, I'm probably never going to be here again. And like, because at this point in time, he didn't know if he was going to play paintball again. He was kind of doing some other things in his life. He didn't know what the off season was going to bring for him. And like, dude, that hug we shared there was fucking magical, bro. Because it's like, I'm so glad I stumbled upon Ivan having that moment. A moment that one of our co-hosts way back in the day, Evan Fernandez, talked about when he played his last, match in pro, and everyone left finals, and he was just sitting there like, I don't get to play on that field anymore. And like it finally hit, in that moment of you're trying to delay it for so long because you don't want it to be over. And so that moment I shared with Ivan was a very powerful one to me. And I just straight up told him, yeah, I love you, bro, and you're fucking, you're a beast. And hey, whenever you come back, the sport's gonna be waiting for you. But yeah, the Gonzalez brothers, they're different. They're some of my favorite people in paintball. They're just some of the hardest workers.
It's funny you say that with that feeling that you share with Ivan. I mean, like my boy Caden, like it's funny, we make the meme that he's my brother, right? But it's like, dude, it is like
he's
that.
He's not.
He's not, but it is like that, right? Where there are times where at the end of the event, I put my arm around him and I'm like, dude, look around. Dude, 40 years from now, we're not even gonna be able to experience this anymore. Not in this fashion. It's gonna be something completely different that we can't even recognize.
10 years from now.
Enjoy it, right? You never know, you never know what could possibly happen. You never know who could stick around, who leaves, who, unfortunately, passes, right? And it obviously affects the real paintball world. So every single event, at the very end, I just soak it in because I never know if it's truly going to be my last one. And it's great to be, have my boys around me where that is my family. That is my most prized possession. That is,
I think
what I want.
Maybe we brought this up last week, but I saw a post that it kind of made me feel that. It was from one of Jerry's family members, and they were just saying like, hey, if you guys have photos of Jerry, please, upload them to this website so that way we can, have memories of our brother or, our son. And one of the other things that they said there is like, it's so cool to see how much he meant to you guys, because his family never saw that, his family was never at events, maybe they went to one or two, but they saw in that moment how tight this community is, and for some of his former teammates, his just the people in his community that he saw every weekend were like, wow, he was an amazing person who should still be here. And it is so sad that he is gone, and God damn. So do that for the people before they leave. Make sure that we all know how much everyone in paintball loves each other, because man, this community is different. And that's one of the things that's kept me here. I probably would have been gone a couple years ago if there wasn't such strong, people and personalities in the sport. But I've talked about that fucking 1,000 times at this point.
Absolutely. We're not trying to be a dead horse anymore, but
for sure.
We love everybody, and everybody that's listening, we really appreciate it. Seriously. Without you guys' support, dude, none of this would even be possible, right? And man, it's just been such a journey, right? 150 episodes.
Let's keep it on paintball a little bit. Let's switch up the topic a little bit, but let's go to impact practice. You guys spent the last 48 hours or whatever, 72 hours, whatever it was, essentially playing hard ass paintball against Impact. Hatch gave me a call on his way home the other day. Sounds like it got heated at times, but
oh yeah.
It also was an impact practice, and I feel like those are always the best. You can learn a lot when you play a team of guys of that caliber.
They're fun.
Absolutely, and playing 2 days against Impact, and they had their whole roster out there. I think the only person they were missing was Zach Yakimak. That was the only person they were missing. Yeah. So they had their full roster: Rainey, Nick Laval, JC, right? Everybody. And let me tell you, this was probably the first practice where we're like, damn, like these guys are not even coming close to just pushing us over. Sure, we're trying out. Sure, we'll do a play where we try it out, and then two guys get shot off the break, right? Domino effect, whatever, right? But
you kind of got to write those off, though.
It's exactly. Like goldfish mindset.
Two off the break. If you win that point, it's a fucking God's miracle.
That's what especially against Impact. They're a great team to where
any pro team, they're gonna choke you out.
Exactly. They start doing the fucking Python pasta and squeeze you until anaconda squeeze. And it's just an interesting style of paintball that you really do have to learn, especially when it comes to what we've learned in semi-pro. The really high-level teams, that's what it's like. There are teams that I wouldn't say like that are impact good in semi-pro, but it's like they mimic that style. The sit, wait, get it, wait for a kill, the discipline, right? Jobs, stay on it. Hey, do not switch unless somebody is doing that job. And that's
unless you have confirmation that you're now free to go do something else.
Yep. And so overall, this impact practice, was fantastic, dude. Got so chirpy. I'm confident in myself now to where these guys are not just gonna talk shit to me and not get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm at the point to where, there was a time where my guy got run down, and they put a pretty good amount on him. So as they're running him down, or as he's like trying to come and get me, I'm like, bro, hell no. And so I let his ass have it, right? And he's like he's talking shit to me, and these are Impact guys, right? They're talking shit to me. He's like, you piece of shit, why you always gotta do that? And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. It's like,
you just shot the piss out of my boy.
Exactly. It's like, what do you mean?
What goes around goes around.
It's like, I love Impact. I love playing Impact, but dude, that was just like, I was done with that. And
you want it to get to a point where it's like, come on, let's have some mutual respect for each other here. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot each other with paintballs. We don't gotta be fucking complete dicks about it. Like, we're both trying to get better out here.
And it got to the perfect level of chirpy where it was so much fun. Right? It was so much fun grinding against those guys. Right? To where, like, dude, they can talk shit to me all they want. Now, I don't care, bro. Like that. Like none of their whatever they say is gonna mentally phase me. Right? But to them, they should be winning every single point. Right? That is a top tier organization. So it's like boosts our confidence when we beat them. Right? Especially when like 1 point, 2 point, 3 points in a row. It's like, all right, we're finding our flow.
But here's the difference, because like I've seen that happen. I've seen DMG win a couple points, versus Impact squads in the past. But then Dave brings everyone in. They talk for 30 minutes. They completely change how they play the layout. And then all of a sudden, the DMG squad is like, what the fuck just happened, boys? Why are we getting shit on? Did that happen as much? Or do you feel like there was less of that, like, oh, Impact just gained a, information gap on us because of some shit Dave said?
So Saturday we did not have our full roster. Some people had excuses on why they weren't there, right? Whatever.
Valid?
No.
All right, fuck them. They're cut. They're done.
Absolutely not, right?
I'm cutting them right now. I don't have the ability to do so, but I am.
But I'm just a weird guy like that, right? Where I'm like, when Impact practice, right? That's just like something that you just can't really miss, right? And,
you're getting an opportunity to scrimmage for free one of the best pro teams in the world. I would take that ability if I could.
Dude, it is a fantastic opportunity that.
Like, you gotta pay for paint. I'm not saying like it's completely free, but it's like you don't have to pay an entry fee.
I'll pay extra. I'll pay extra for paint. I'll buy an extra box. You know what I'm saying? Because I want the extra spins against these guys, right? Was that not what you would do if you are an aspiring team that wants to do better and you are going to scrimmage a pro or a better team than you that is dominantly better than you? Buy more paint, make the sacrifice. If you really want to take that next step, stop wasting your fucking time.
Yeah,
be there till the sun goes down.
Hatch, let Brando talk.
Take.
I was talking first.
Look, take any opportunity to play a higher team. Right, and I was one of the guys that missed Saturday.
So he's cut. All right.
Yeah, I'm cut. Yeah. It's I bet everyone that missed Saturday, including me, wishes we could have been there, but circumstances arose. Dates didn't line up, right, and obligations had to be fulfilled. But,
absolutely, and I'm being strict about it. I'm being a hard ass.
Even like I was upset I wasn't there. I was upset the other guys weren't there. But again, obligations, whatnot. But any lower division people take the opportunity to play. If you have an opportunity to play a pro team, a semi-pro team, even a D2 team, like fucking take that shit. Play, get your ass whooped, take your licks. But Saturday. I'll speak for Sunday really quick with like the adjustments, Ryan. Right, I felt like they'd adjust, and then we would adjust upon that.
Exactly.
And it was just reminding ourselves of, hey, this is what they're doing. We got to stay disciplined, communicate.
Which is also good practice for playing an event. Layouts change. The way you play a layout Friday at your first prelim is not how it's going to be played, Sunday, even in the Ochos. Like, layouts just do evolve over the course of an event.
So Friday morning plays so different than Friday afternoon.
True, yeah, even within the same day.
Even just watching games, people are like, all right, well, I thought that move was going to work, and that guy just got shit on trying it.
It worked at our home field, but apparently our bunkers were wrong. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit is not like Capital Edge. Capital Edge bunkers are straight.
Hey, yep, as Marv says, 10 on
Just
the
like
same as
Capital Edge. You know? So
that was one of my favorite bits from the Rebirth. But every time I would always have him give me that line.
You know, it's funny that you say that because I will always tell Marv that when we're walking the field. You know,
He
I'm
takes
like, all right.
pride in it, man. No,
Exactly.
and it's not a joke. It's serious. He is very particular at making sure the layout is correct because he realizes if it's not right, and then you get to the NXL, all your practice time was now just null and void.
He'll call Jason Trojan right there, or
Yes, he will.
He'll text him something like, "Hey, I think this is off, or is this not right? What what's this about?" Yeah, he'll take the time.
And it was just an overall great weekend. With Sunday, I would say, I guess with both days, there was that midday meeting. You know what I'm saying? With Impact had their midday meeting where they try to adjust. We have our midday meeting where we try to adjust. And then it's like, boom, the clash of the lightsabers again. It's just constant dueling where sometimes their stuff would work. Yep. It's exactly right. You know,
Guess who we are?
Yeah. Guess who we are? We got the blue lightsabers, bro.
Oh, well, never mind. I was wrong on my guess.
We're the good guys. We're the good guys.
Oh, that's true. Because I have been calling Impact the evil empire this whole year. Because in my head, they're essentially the same as the Yankees.
Right, and it was just. It was
Am I wrong, Brandon? You understand baseball. You get that reference.
It's a great feeling when you go fucking tit for tat with them.
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
the A's.
They're talking shit to me. I'm
really
fucking
are.
talking shit to them.
More ways than one.
Right? And oh man, it was funny too. Some of them were getting so mad where the point would end 10 seconds later, and then they were just fucking lighting me up, just standing there. And I'm just like, the fuck? All right, you know? And I won't name what player it was, right? But I was like...
You've been respectful. You did on their phone call, you named him, but
Yeah,
I've noticed you've kept that out of this so far,
Right?
so hey, respect to Hatch.
But I'm like, Dave, get your girl, bro. What the hell's going on?
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, don't get mad because you're getting fucking backdoored by me. You know what I'm saying? It's like...
Fair enough, yeah.
And the thing is, if my shit talk really was getting to too extreme, Dave would call me on it. Me and Dave have a very mutual respect where he knows exactly, because he at the start of practice he goes, all right, Hatch, no tomfoolery this morning, and I go, Dave, that's a problem, dude. I did 10 reps of tomfoolery on my way up. You know what I'm saying? I was
10 reps of
practicing
shenanigans.
I was practicing for it, right? So
You're in your car on the way up, like, fuck you, pussy. Don't fucking shoot my guy. Fucking, you know.
because, dude, it's awesome, right? Because I get to practice against Tyler Harmon, right? That guy Tyler Harmon is a great competitor, and dude, he was fired up, right? I love seeing him fired up, and when I can get him fired up.
Did he look through your soul? Did he give you that look? Because he's given me it a couple times in the pits, and I'm just like, I'm gonna die.
Now I think most of the conflict this weekend was between me and Brandon Cornell. Me and Brandon Cornell. That was
match.
well, no, that was just one of them. I'll just name one of them.
Oh, okay.
I love Brandon Cornell, right? It was a great. We hugged each other after, right?
That's true. You and BC have played each other for a while at this point.
Exactly, right?
Because he's been Impact for, I mean, a decade at this point.
He's a Dorito guy. I'm a Dorito guy. Iron sharpens iron, right? And I mean, there have been multiple times. I mean, Rufino posted a clip of me running their Impact down and then Impact running me down. You know,
yeah.
It's just
Well,
constant.
maybe this is a chicken or the egg thing, Hatch, but like I do notice, like, just naturally, I feel like you play the Doritos a lot like how BC plays the Doritos. Like, and I don't know, maybe that's just been because that's a guy you've practiced against a lot, but there's a lot of similar tendencies in you guys with, being smart players, but also like, oh, you giving me a chance to drop the hammer, I want to go and drop the hammer on you right the fuck now.
He plays such an A-tier style to where, that Anaconda squeeze, where it's like, dude, get to your spot, chill, gunfight every once in a while.
Yeah, that was an inside joke I missed this weekend.
Only when it's
Second
convenient.
reference to the Anaconda.
Right? Not even, bro. Not even. That's some Nacho Libre reference. That's like, when did that movie come out? 2004? But whatever. Anyway. But,
I don't know. I got you though, bro. Speaking of the Sacramento A's, by the way, Brandon, did you see maybe one of the best home run robberies of all time?
Dude, he got up there.
Shout out to our center fielder, or maybe right fielder, Denzel Clark. I actually don't know what position he was playing.
Center.
He was playing center. Okay. This man full on scales, climbs, and reaches about 3 feet into into home run territory, snags this ball out of the air, comes back down, and fucking flexes on everyone, dude. It is one of the best home run robberies I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
It is such a good.
Yeah,
it is so good. That's why baseball's amazing.
Yeah, because it wasn't just a little home run. It was definitely home run.
That should have been a
question
no
about
doubter. It was
Yeah.
3 or 4 feet behind the fence.
Yeah,
Like
dude's
he
torso
shouldn't-
was over the
fence.
wall.
Yeah, it looked like it was gonna be one of those little league moments where the guy like flips over and then he's standing out like, no, I'm holding it. I got the ball. It's in my glove. It counts as an out.
No, that's
But yeah, so I wanted to bring it up because that was absolutely amazing that happened this week. I know, the only bright spot for Oakland Athletic baseball.
Yeah, in the River Cat Stadium.
Yeah, well, hey, my dad loves it. He's been going to a lot of fucking
He's
games
fucking
because
dirt
he's
cheap.
right at the right retirement age as the A's are there. So it's been a perfect time for him.
Hell yeah.
I will say with all the motherfucker the fuck yous at the practice and everything. Yeah, it was a really good, fun practice, heated practice, but as Hatch was getting the motherfuckers, I got a couple apologies for getting overshot. I want to say that I found that funny.
Bro, dude,
I take one extra. They go, I'm
Dude,
sorry,
Brando.
I'm like,
you want to know how, dude? This shit is so funny. Brandon Cornell wanted to get me so bad. So we play a point, fuck him up, right? And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. So I go to the bathroom. The team goes out and plays. Brandon Cornell fucks up one of my guys, right? And he comes over to the pits talking shit. He's like, "You see what you started, Hatch?" And then I come back from taking a piss, and then AJ's like, "Dude, you hear Brandon Cornell talking shit?" I go, "What? No." He goes, "Damn, didn't even hear it. That's crazy, right?" And he's like, AJ's like, "Wait, Hatch isn't even here. Who are you talking to?" And it was just really funny. But
I love that. Hatch, can you talk about your Elden Ring emote? You
oh
don't
yeah,
give any specifics, but this was probably the best story from practice.
So this one was pretty funny, right? So this kind of goes back to the same point where runs my guy down, messes him up, I mess him up for running my guy down.
In that same point, okay.
In that same point, right? We practice a certain way, dude. Go for the buzzer. Is that not how you end a match? Is you go for the buzzer?
I'll say this. If you are a divisional team listening to this, you are not Impact. Every single time you kill the enemy team, go and hang the buzzer. Get that muscle memory down. We've seen it fuck Austin Oni literally in the playoffs. They should have moved on. It's a race 2 format. Come on, boys. I'll never let you forget that one. But just practice that. That should be how every point ends.
Is
you kill
that
the
not
enemy
how it
team,
should be
run
practiced?
down, hit the buzzer, practice, hey, checking out your buddy, get that muscle memory in. Now, if you're Impact, you've been playing the game for 20 years, I do understand why you don't necessarily have to do that, but...
Right, but obviously I'm not Impact. I still got to practice it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going over to hit the buzzer, and
Also good cardio.
And they are talking shit. They're talking shit from the pits. They're like, "Hatch, fuck you, Hatch. You don't need to hang the buzzer. It's practice." And I'm like tiptoeing over towards the buzzer. I like hover over the buzzer, and then I fucking hit a bow from fucking Elden Ring, and then hit the fucking buzzer. Right? And I was like,
How does that look, Hatch? Can we see on your camera? Can you give us a slight
I was like-
demonstration?
I was
This
just
is a video podcast, by the way.
Yeah. This is why you check the video on Spotify. I was basically like this. I was like tiptoeing over. I was like, and then hit the bow and then click the buzzer.
Slight
So-
little bow. We love that.
And because the thing is, I fucking love Impact. They bring the competitor out of me, truly. And
And you guys
Obviously-
still took a team photo together, so obviously there
Absolutely.
wasn't super hurt feelings, except
Oh,
for
dude.
Rainey and Marv standing together is the funniest looking thing ever.
oh, dude, there were
Hatch
multiple.
is there, arms around his boys, and then right next to him is Marv, and then Rainey. And they're
To be
like,
fair-
we don't show emotion.
To be fair, luckily there's not enough detail in the photo to see that my eyes were being bleached from the sun. My eyes were. I was like, oh my eyes! Trying to take the photo, right?
I feel that, yeah.
And,
I've done that to you guys before.
Right, and dude, Rainey is a great competitor, and there were a lot of moments that got heated with Rainey where he had to come over and we had to squash some beef a little bit, but dude, it was just an overall.
I also do have a lot
fantastic
of respect
weekend.
for Rainey, though. He's not only is he a good paintball player, but he's pretty good dude. I feel like from his track record we've seen of stuff, he's he could be a little spicy, a little
If I am
talky
correct,
guy.
he's one of the most decorated NXL champions of all time. If I am correct.
probably
like,
up there.
he has
The
like
stretch
so
with
many
Impact. Some of the other ones, I
damage
couldn't name
winning
off the top
right?
of my head, but
he played with
yeah.
X Factor, and I think he won on there, right? Like he did multiple. He's a very decorated champion, right? So he's one of those guys that gets the inner competitor out because that guy just doesn't fucking miss.
One of the things I like about Rainey in respect is the mental aspect of his game. That comes from his poker playing and his stuff like that. But like, it is interesting to watch him break down fields and like how he tries to set stuff up. So yeah, no, he's always a fun guy to watch. If you're a 3, go watch Rainey Stanzak. Go get information from him because he's damn good when he plays that role. But he also can play other shit too, which is kind of he's got the versatility.
It was so one thing that was so funny. So we're taking the picture on Saturday, right? And the dad's real media guy. He's like, all right, everybody, on 3, say cheese. Then they go 1, 2, 3, and I go, I miss Marcelo. And it was just, dude, it was just so fucking funny, dude. I had the whole team cracking up.
Too soon, Ash. Come on,
man,
buddy.
it was just funny, because I'd probably get under their skin. I bet they probably think like, man, fuck that Hatch guy talking shit to me like that.
Yeah, but I think more so than that, Hatch, I think they see younger versions of themselves in you. And I think that's why you do have respect from them. Like, they want to punish you because they see the shit-talking kid, but at the same time, they still want you to come back and practice against them because I think there is a bit of like, yeah, I remember when I was, saying fuck you to everyone and, coming with that same brash, like, yeah, I own this field. This is my field. That's why I have the confidence to play against you guys. And, that's why I'm going to move up in the divisions.
Well, I mean, dude, it doesn't even matter. Dude, I have confidence to play anybody. Anybody, as long as, dude, with me and my team, Brando, dude, when I know Brando's on the field with me, dude, my confidence in my team is astronomical.
Now, if Brando has to play a brick, we don't have much confidence of his ability to shoot over it, but...
No, I just know that he's got in between his back and his pod pack, he has a little step stool, so he deploys it so he can see over the brick. Yeah.
Brando, can you even jump over a can?
It depends. At Capital Edge, yes. At the NXL, no.
Depending on the places, yeah. I got you there. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm like... Okay.
Get him out. Yeah.
I gotta get on like my tippy toes, hit the Michael Jackson. Try to see over it. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the funny things with like watching tall players, because like Tyler uses that a lot. One of Tyler's favorite things to do is to pop the top of a can.
Yup.
So if you're gunfighting him, yeah, if he comes out on the side, your next ball should be over the top because he wants to come over the top.
I think the last event when they were playing in the rain, it was a pretty crazy clip where he tries to hit that goes try to hit that jump look, right? And then as soon as he hits the peak of his jump, boom, right on the top of the head. And it's like,
that's scouting. That's knowing who you're playing.
People are like, well, that's a signature move of Tyler Harmon. So try to hit that, right?
One of my favorite shots in All That Matters is there's a little small section where he's standing at a can gunfighting Archie in the stake, and you're behind Archie, and they're just playing it in real time. Oh my god, some of the most best like gunfighting footage to watch, because it's like rhythmic fucking, these two guys going at it, and then he gets a ball at Archie, and it's just like the body language deflation from Archie, and like just seeing Tyler like, oh, get him the fuck out, yeah, let's go, like,
right,
dude,
and that's the beautiful moments of All That Matters. Dude, I love seeing that, bro. I think there's a fire behind it, and I think that Tyler Harmon brings that fire to Impact that they, at least in my opinion, seeing them in the pits the past couple of years, they've needed. JC has that fire. JC's always like, let's go Impact.
Yeah,
but
that's why JC and Dylan fucking Mexican standoff each other.
And, I mean, I'll let you think who won that, because I know who won that one for sure.
Well, we know who. Yeah, I'm not talking about who won it. I'm just talking about there's a reason those two guys were the guys who said, all right, fuck it.
Valid, right? And Tyler Harmon is, I think, that guy that can, those two furnaces of fire can just absolutely make an inferno on the pro field, genuinely. And I hope that us playing them really does, get them a little bit better.
I do love how Dylan has become known in paintball for that moment. Mm-hmm. If you guys saw the whole, we'll talk about it a little bit, but the true X-Ball match that went down, there was the clip posted from it of A-Rod and Greenspan getting into it in the middle. And one of the most liked comments is Dylan just going, "Well done, boys." And everyone's liked it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the Mexican standoff guy. It's Dylan Boyum. But yeah, before we move to that event, let's talk about me playing paintball because I actually went out this past week to Outlaw and grabbed a case of paint, borrowed an LV2, and shot some paintballs at other people. Fucking playing paintball in Texas when you're not in shape is so hard. Like at Capital Edge, I can play a 3, hang out a little bit, and I'll be okay. Jesus Christ, just doing anything out here with a full paintball outfit on, you're fucking sweating so much water weight out. It's ridiculous. We were sitting in, one of the snake side that they had set up in the Outlaw. There was like a mini wing, and then there was like a snake beam on the inside, which gave you great coverage from the Doritos, but you're playing a mini wing, so you're on your knees the whole fucking time. Just in the direct Texas heat, just getting baked on. I was crossed up with Keegan, one of the higher divisional players out here, but he was in the can in the corner just watching the Dorito side in case they came down. So he just wanted me to watch the snake in case they tried to come for him. Dude, I'm sitting holding this gap for 2 minutes just feeling my life force dissipate. And I'm like, Keegan, I want to pop the top and do something dumb right now, man. Like, I need to get off the field right now, bro. Jesus Christ. And of course, we were playing against all of Assault at that time, which is the team I've been filming out here. But they're T4 boys, and they're pretty good paintball players. They knew, okay, they're crossed up. We cannot run down the snake, so let's try to figure out something up the center. And they had a nice shot, got up on the Doritos on me and clipped me out of my pack. And there's a couple other points I played. Like first one of the day, literally get out there. The dude we're playing against, I was playing the 3, so we had 2 guys on the snake side already. I see our first snake guy start walking out of the snake, so I jump back into the money to go fill that and give him some more pressure over there. All of a sudden, I just see a dude running down the sidelines, and I'm like, wait, that's not our guy. And I take like 4. I ended up getting 1 to my head, literally right above my headband, like the inch above it, where it's like there's cloth here that protects me, and then I have this fat ass marbleizer hit now. But I'll say this, I didn't feel shit, bro. Paintballs, if you ever are playing a game of paintball and you say that paintballs hurt, fuck you, you're a pussy. I'm just gonna be honest, all right?
Agreed.
Because dude, the difference in the amount of pain we feel on the sidelines getting shot to make you guys look good versus the amount of pain you're feeling as you're getting shot in the match, it is not even fucking comparable. Like, yeah, this fat ass fucking bruise right there, I didn't feel a goddamn thing. I didn't even know I had a bruise, so I was like, oh shit, there's something on my leg that feels a little weird. Oh, okay. Wonder if I got shot there. It's, that always is the part that blows my mind, because for years I've just, okay, you get a paintball in the ribs, it sucks, it is what it is, it'll go away in 5 seconds. But, man, you don't feel anything on the field.
Yeah.
No. Dude, I completely agree.
Every now and then you get that little stinger, but again, it just
And
stings
course,
a little longer,
shot,
but that's it.
You take a knuckle shot.
Honestly, dude, I'll take the
that hurt.
I'll take the neck shot over the butt cheek shot, bro. The butt cheek shot.
Oh, yeah, because you're getting bunkered
God.
right in the ass.
Oh, dude, that shit hurts. Yeah, I'm aiming for the booty hole whenever I'm bunkering somebody now, dude. Fuck the head. That shit's way too hard.
Yeah, right in the anus. Yeah.
Right in the anus, dude. Dude, the lore to that that is so funny,
callback
dude.
right there, Brando. Good fucking shit.
God damn,
God,
dude.
if you get that reference, that's a good one. Jesus Christ, I love that, boys.
Dude, no,
but
are you planning on going back out and playing?
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Definitely one of those things that's like, I enjoy doing it, but at the same time, like, I'm not trying to make a competitive run or come back or do anything of those sorts.
Some fun.
So, yeah, just, playing some pickup ball with the boys. And, yeah, to be real, I sucked ass. I did not fucking really do anything helpful. But I had 4 pods in my back, and I was told to hold the lane from the home, and I fucking did that. And so, you know what? I feel like I did my job, all right?
Absolutely.
R1 sucked ass, couldn't produce.
Hey, dude, that's when you shoot him in the back and say, "I'll take over, Junior."
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, I did not want to move because I would have collapsed. But no, I did get to play a point with our boy out here, Brando, one of my guys that I've spent a lot of time with filming for Austin Assault. He's helping us out with some stuff behind the scenes that's coming very soon. So yeah, it was cool to kind of have that experience with some of those guys out here who I've never played with. I've only filmed, whereas like yeah, I've played some random points up at Capital Edge, or you guys see me play and stuff, and so it's cool to kind of share that and be like, yeah, I'm not great, but like I know how to load my gun up. Like I have some muscle memory from back in the day when I was still playing this shit, and so like it's yeah, it was fun. I definitely had a blast out there, but man, I played like 5 points and I was just drenched in sweat and fucking felt like I was gonna pass out. So cardio's got to come a big comeback because paintball shape's
liquid IV
different.
electrolytes.
Oh, I was drinking that. I was drinking throughout the day, but still, man, it just comes out so fast because your body's like,
dude, sometimes
get rid
like
of it.
sometimes when I'm like running and then I'm yelling and then I'm trying to breathe at the same time, but then a move happens, so it's like I'm not trying to have my homies die. You know, a guy makes it into the Dorito. I gotta tell my homies or they're gonna get shot first. You know, they're not gonna shoot me first. I got a bunker in front of me. So, oh man, dude. Sometimes I feel like with all that in combination, I will almost throw up because there is just I can't get enough air. You know?
Yeah, it's like your body is just like eject.
Yup.
I've never gotten to the point where I'm almost thrown up. I get so lightheaded at times.
I throw up before I get lightheaded.
Dude, I've had to stop midpoint even in tournaments of like
in your bunker, like fuck.
Okay, I'm good. All right. Yeah.
Okay, kill two. Like
because everything starts to turn white. It's no.
You get those couple little black dots, and you're like,
This
oh
is
shit!
It's
I
like a
can't
CS
pass out right
flashbang.
now.
I'm like, whoa, bro.
What's happening? I did I had a a little moment that made me feel cool because fucking I was playing with a random kid. Rakab, something like that. I forget his name. Sorry about that, brother. But he was wearing a Colt Lucal jersey, and I'm holding the D side from the home, and I'm holding my lane. I'm doing what I was told to do. But I see this flash of white come into my vision, and I was like, wait, that's probably one of my teammates. What the fuck? And like right as I stop my lane, the like last ball I shoot goes over his head, and I'm like, oh fuck. Okay, back on the lane now. We're good. I didn't shoot my boy.
You know, Brando's
So,
at perfect fun size height
that.
to where I don't have to worry about that too often.
Yeah, you guys don't have to, but
It's awesome.
No.
Dude, it's
yeah,
awesome.
it is awesome. Like, Brando, I got you, bro. Hit it. You know, he's like, got it, bro.
Yeah, dude,
he just has to go. Boom,
maybe.
your lane's right over him.
He goes, belly flop, and then just belly flops into the Dorito.
Dude, no, we called for the Tampa event. There was a couple plays that Chim wanted Paul to run in front of me. I was like, Paul, hey, Chim,
I'm gonna shoot Paul.
No, I've shot Paul in the back sharing the same goddamn bunker.
If you want ball one off the break, do that play.
Yeah, switch us, please.
Logistically, this does not make sense.
No,
Right?
he can't get low enough. I can't shoot high enough. Like, what? Come on.
Brando playing a tower, stop.
That is a great segue into some of the, the true X-Ball match that happened, because I was watching one of the points, and I think it was actually our boy Mark, Frog Muncher, Mark Meterman. He was getting some reps with Dynasty. Fuck
so
yeah,
sick.
we love to see that. But I think... I forget who he was lined up with his two, but I remember him coming off the break, he like stands up straight to get his like first step in, and then you see him instantly like duck his head, and like 15 balls a second are just flying over this man's head. And I was like, ooh, that one was a little close.
You know when those, it's like the people that steal content and they like they'll like repost a paintball video, but they'll like fast forward it ×2 so you can like, hear the shooting, right? It sounded just like that, but just in normal speed, so it was just. I thought that was so sick, right? Like my very first tournament ever in PPL. That was like uncapped semi.
Yeah,
so it was
sounded
like,
insane.
People
When the
were
breakout
butterflying
happened, it sounded like fucking a war was going off.
Yes.
Like even 10.5 sounds crazy. It was crazier, and I can't explain it to you unless you've heard it with your own ears.
And in PPL was like 7 man, so it's like, dude, there's 2 more guns off the break.
4 more guns, yeah, because you're adding all that in. But one thing I wanted to talk about, one of my most liked comments I've had in recent times. If you complain about overshooting at 10.5, you're soft and need to stop playing paintball. Because watching Ryan Greenspan, a 40-year-old father, get shot at least 35 times from maybe 4 feet away by A-Rod, and not complaining and just being like, kind of like rubbing it off.
Was like, hey, that's a penalty, buddy.
Yeah.
I shot it first.
Dude, like... grow the fuck up, guys. Like that's if Ryan Greenspan gets shot that many times, you can too. All right. So yeah, that clip perfectly illustrates how soft today paintball is, because man, A-Rod is obviously one of those guys. He doesn't give a single fuck. He just wants to, put paintballs on someone. And so if he has to take 20, he will take it too. But like, Ryan was painted yellow.
Yeah.
Like, from head to toe, this man had hits on him.
Dude, you got to hit the shoe shiner there
every time. That's how people looked every time they were coming out of MPPL matches. Or, if you were a 1 and you got shot out early,
you're getting painted,
this
buddy.
is not going to be fun walking back to the
If you're the last guy alive,
box.
if you're the last guy alive, that sucks to be you,
We had no towels in MPPL.
Yeah, you're catching some to the back of the head.
Actually counts for points. So if you can stalemate and hold them, that means everything. So there was so much more like you had pressure to still, or at least take one of their boys out with you and make sure you trade.
A wise man would say stabbers don't get stabbed in that scenario.
I mean, that is true. A wise man.
Yep, exactly. So stabbers don't get stabbed.
But yeah, so I want to talk about this standpoint of it.
Okay.
Vendetta Paintball, I feel like you decided to run this an event in the least friendly way to help grow and promote paintball. Charging $75 for media to film a single game between 2 teams is ridiculous. The people who went out there and paid those fees to do it, bless you, but you shouldn't have had to do that. J Mac, one of the best photographers in our league, we talked about earlier. This is a man who is doing collegiate sports and professional sports as his side thing outside of paintball that he's trying to move into. He brought up the great point of like, why would any of us fly to a destination, take all the travel time and money, know that we're probably not going to make back what we invested on it because there's only 2 teams, and that's not, we don't make our money based off social media stuff anymore. A lot more of it is due to client and, team relationships. Mm-hmm. So you throw all that in, and then you're charging, media to come out and film the event. I'm going to let you guys in on a secret little thing here. Okay. I don't pay for a pro media pass. I don't have to spend money to the NXL to be able to shoot the NXL. I have to be credentialed. I have to get one of those media passes, which is a difficult thing to do in of itself.
Definitely a privilege for sure.
But it's not like they don't charge us to do that because they realize if we're not there taking photos or video, it doesn't get seen as much. Yes, Go Sports will still be there. They'll still be doing their great job that they always do.
So much reach.
You should appreciate the fuck out of Go Sports right now, compared to the level of quality that live stream was. But man, I feel like they went about this such a long way, or such a wrong way, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely could have gone better. From what I understand, the guy hasn't put on an event like this at all, like up to this scale.
It was a one-man army.
Essentially, right?
Well, and from the live stream side, I understand there's difficulties there. Like,
for sure.
Probably more so than the majority of the paintball audience, I understand the difficulties that come with live production. Hell, that's what I fucking do in my daily job now. But man, to charge people $5 for a product that objectively is a scam is wrong. And I say a scam because you didn't have audio. You didn't have a score bug. You didn't have commentary. You didn't have all these things until about 20 minutes into the match. And then the live stream goes down for the end of the match. I'm sorry, man. That is a fail on all the accounts. And yes, you can have sympathy for the man behind it because obviously he didn't want those things to happen. But at the end of the day, execution happened very poorly. And someone does have to take responsibility for that. That's called being a grown-up in the adult world. We can all push the bullshit on whoever we want, but at the end of the day, someone ran this event in a manner that it was objectively not as successful as I think all of paintball wanted it to be. Because we were all excited to watch True X-Ball. I mean, fuck, it was
15
exciting.
balls a second?
Dude, there was some great moments in that match. If you watch Northwest Paint Cover's, version of it,
me and him go way back, dude.
It's a one dude who's filming a whole match. He's not going to get everything because that's
he painted a good picture. He painted a really good picture, if I'm being honest, of how gritty and
he tried
back
his best.
And forth that match was. It was awesome, man. Me and that guy, me and him go way back. If you actually look at his channel, no joke, 2020 Vegas. I had him film our matches. We were DMG Murica. So if you go back in his YouTube channel, you'll see us. That was when that was no joke. Oh, fuck, I'm going to expose myself. That was when I had a man bun. No bullshit. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
I barely remember that version of Hatch.
Yeah,
God damn,
that
was a quick period of time.
that was Mullet 1.0 before I donated. You know what I'm saying? So that was like
True.
that was the warm up.
And that was did you have the stash back then, or was that?
I did have this. I had on and off.
Okay. And then Mikey cemented you into. You shaved it when Mikey, won that one-on-one. You've never shaved it since. It has been a permanent feature.
Now I still got the winning follicles on here, bro, from World Cup, dude. I'm trying to carry that high, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Never once shaving that stash.
Nope, I'm trying my best not to.
Yeah, well, I don't know how Tegan likes it all that much, but
Oh,
hey,
dude, she loves it, bro. The womb broom, are you kidding me?
Okay, we don't need to go there, buddy.
What?
But yeah, so I was disappointed with how the event went. With that said, there was still good things from it. Seeing fucking Mark Biederman get to go play with Dynasty, fuck yeah, we love that. Watching D-Camp, be able to go play with his boys, that's awesome. Mike Bianca was his old coach. That's a really cool interaction for them.
I thought that Daniel Camp was going to go to Dynasty with Mike Bianca at the beginning of the year. I was like, damn, that Dynasty gets Mike Bianca.
That would have made sense.
I would be very surprised if they didn't pick him up. And when they didn't, I was like, what the heck? Now it makes total sense, right? And
it's a little of a tryout, I kind of feel like a little bit.
Absolutely. Even Aftershock, I mean, Aftershock, they mixed with their semi-pro line, and
Mark Johnson came over and played with them. Yeah.
Who else did they have? They had some more.
There was a funny clip of Connor was in the tower just holding down the snake side, and then Mark comes up and like fills in behind him. But you would think, okay, someone's already holding the snake side. I'll shoot on the inside and try to fill out. Mark just takes over the outside snake lane and was like, "Hey, Connor, look on the inside." And I was like, "Sorry, Connor Kelly." And then he bounces out.
Connor Kelly got rid of a hit, bro. He got shot right in the neck and got rid of it. I'm like, bro, what are these refs looking at? With the back line refs. God damn, that one wasn't even that hard to see. That hard to not see. But oh shit, not see. My bad.
Jesus, there you go. There's your Instagram clip for the week.
The vocabulary.
But yeah, man. No, I don't know. You don't need to drag on about it anymore. But it's disappointing.
Yeah.
No, I'll give one more drag after Brando.
Yeah. From what I understand, I thought GI was also gonna put more into it. From what I heard, it's mostly just the guy that owns Vendetta that mostly set it up, put his own money up front and stuff.
That's hard.
And yeah, but it hopefully he learned from it and can, if he wants to do it again, learn from it and
I will also say this: most events in their first year are not a profitable enterprise.
Yeah.
That's
not at all.
Any event. Like the biggest thing that you can think of, fucking Ludwig's chess boxing when he sold an arena, that still lost money.
At Astra, right? Was that it?
Yeah.
Meters?
Oh,
I do remember that, yes.
Event that I thought they were going to make it like a little series or something.
For sure, Blastcamp won that against the pro. It was all his pro teams.
Yeah, they did. And they did one, and there was like, this is not cost effective. Like, we're done after one.
Or even just like because they wanted to do Yosh and Dylan were like they were filmed every match from multiple camera angles, and Yosh, I talked to Yosh about it, and he was like, the amount of work it would require to do that whole day it's thousands of dollars of just time that would take to do those things. Like that's the biggest hurdle paintball runs into a lot. To get talented people to do good things with their talent takes money because other people will pay them to do those things.
Definitely. And I mean, you see why people like Cassidy leave, where it's like they get that taste of, the real outside money of, like an esports or a sports game.
And you throw in the fact you're not out in 90-degree heat getting shot by paintballs all day. Yeah, sign me the fuck up, dog.
It's like you genuinely have to love paintball. It has to be like a truly passionate thing that you have to love.
Dude, speaking of, one of the things that with Cassidy it makes me laugh is do you guys know The Yard, a pretty big podcast? It's Ludwig's podcast. He's got all of his friends on it. Well, Slime, one of the guys on The Yard, he's good friends with Cassidy because he's done work with him in the esports scene before. He's done some stuff. He used to work at Beyond the Summit, which was like an esports organization back in the day. And on their last podcast episode, they talked about HK Army. They didn't know what HK Army was, but Slime starts talking about like, yeah, you know Cassidy at C9? He used to have like a paintball crew back in the day, and like he used to do all this stuff. And it was so wild to hear these two worlds like combine on this platform. Yeah, never would think they'd be talking about this. But they did talk about it because they know Cassidy through esports, and like they know him from that side now. So yeah, paintball and esports, shake hands, be friends.
They look at each other. It's like that scene of like the ending of The Dark Knight where like the Albert and Bruce look at each other and like, it's a silent nod.
Yeah, 100%. There is a funny story with esports and paintball. I don't know if enough time has passed that I could talk about it, but I'll say this: HK used to own a brand named Meta Threads. They don't own that brand anymore. And Facebook rebranded to Meta. Do some fucking mental math in your head there and put 1 and 2 together.
1 and 2 does make 3.
What team does Mark Zuckerberg play on?
No, he doesn't play on a team, Brandon. That's not what I'm saying.
I know.
Protocol.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Why would HK get rid of their brand Meta Threads?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Put 2 and 2 together. And why did HK buy a new warehouse in 2022? Put 2 and 2 together, people.
But, dude, so when it comes to like esports and everything, dude, everybody seems to leave because it seems to be a little more stable for their, for their income and easier on their families.
Esports, but just other pastors in general. I mean, look, guys, let's be real. If Enrique gets an opportunity to film professional sports that aren't paintball, he should take that opportunity. That is a fucking huge opportunity for him and his family because he has a family. Yeah. So I hold no ill will at what him or Sam are doing, trying to branch out and be in different, niches and industries. I love seeing that. In fact, I'm so proud of my friends who are putting themselves out there and trying new things with the skills that they learned in paintball, because that's what a lot of the greats that came before us have done.
Absolutely. I mean, Ryan, I'm even going to toot your horn a little bit. Dude, look what you're doing, bro. You're working for a professional production company.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's fucking badass.
No,
right?
I work in podcasting. I could consider myself a professional podcast producer.
Damn, dude. Hey, so if you are, me too, buddy. I'm on here too.
Well, you're not. Because the difference is, Hatch, I now run the back end for Rob O'Neill's podcast. Do you know who Rob O'Neill is?
Well, the guy that you know, bro, obviously.
The Navy SEAL who shot Osama bin Laden.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm not joking. That's a dude I talk to on the regular now because I have to create content for him and edit his shit together. Very interesting guy, by the way. Just going to say that. So, yeah, I've stepped into that world pretty quick. I have
so many questions for him.
We were talking, before the podcast. I won't dox any names because it's not real stuff. But me and Brandon were talking about, like, people we've seen on podcasts we listened to back in the day. I'm now meeting people in my podcast world who have personal relationships with those people or who have been in content or worked with those people before. So, yeah, it is kind of crazy how fast it's like, whoa, this is a real thing. I'm in the industry I wanted to be in for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm getting
famous,
it. I'm making friends with the people who I'm like, oh, shit.
It's like, another person you're 2 steps away from PKA, right?
And that's what it's all for. Eventually, I need to talk to Taylor, Kyle, and Woody. Yeah. So it's not that I want to meet these people. I want to talk to them.
You're coming for Zach's job.
Look, dude, that's what I was thinking. I'm literally like, I'm so much better at this than fucking Hotload Zach. All right? One of the worst producers in the world who gets to produce my absolute favorite podcast. God damn it, he sucks at his job.
It must be loyalty, bro. Hey.
No, it's not loyalty. It's more sympathy for him. They just feel bad and don't want to fire him. He's so bad at his job.
Bro. Damn,
how the fuck does an audio for a podcast that's 15 years old come out late at times? Come on, guys.
That's valid. Very, very valid.
No, I don't know. I don't know the back end, but you have a complaint about it, Ryan, because you know the back end. There's a guy. I'm gonna tell you right now,
it's not that fucking hard. You drop down on the menu, you schedule a time, and you hit publish. It's pretty fucking easy. We've made some of these things easy, but some of the stuff, yeah, it's still kind of annoying and hard. Brandon, I know we're about an hour in, hour 15, somewhere around there. I know you had like one other story you wanted to tell from your Mexico trip that kind of the internet fucked you over on last week, which, by the way, buddy, you got new internet. You have not dropped a frame. You've not been laggy once. Dude, I can hear you.
I see my upload It's been at 99%
The whole time.
Let's go.
We don't even need to do the post show anymore, Brandon.
It's amazing. No Pojo.
No, we will.
No, we are.
we'll
Yeah.
still
No,
do the
luckily
post show.
for you guys. Sign up for Patreon. Sign up for
Yeah.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Fuck you if you don't.
Patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. Also, chance to win a free Hormesis headband. It's right here. Someone's going to get this at the end of the month. Go sign up right now. Also, you got to be a paid member. With a couple people signed up on the free side, you do have to be a paid member. I just want to say that for the record. Obviously, you have to pay to get access to these, these benefits. So I just
you're
want to
awesome
put that
that you
out there.
signed up, but we don't
We
love you
appreciate
until you actually
but that
put money in
doesn't
our
add
pockets.
to our hobby horsing goal or to getting a headband.
Hobby Horse. Thank you for mentioning that
No,
again.
that's
Dude,
the
we are,
thing, Brandon.
we're close.
It's not even going in our pockets. We're just trying to put our logo on a jump for hobby horsing championships.
Like, the amount of memes that can forever become part of FTS lore.
Guys, you know what? So I looked into this last week. For $5,000, we
That's
could
it?
be the title sponsor. It would be the United States Hobby Horsing Championship, brought to you by From the Sidelines podcast.
Guys, sign up.
Only $5,000. Now I get that that's a large amount of money, but for naming rights on an event, that is a very small amount of money.
And
I'm just saying, if you give us guys money, we are going to do funny things with it. It is not going in our pockets.
Absolutely not. That's what contributes to our costumes, our memes, all our cool stuff.
Yeah, has Play the Game or Spick and Span ever done a Halloween episode? I can answer it right now. They have not.
Nope.
We're different. We're different.
We are different.
You ever had a gay rabbi named Brando?
Yeah.
That's true. that is something that's happened on this podcast, as well as Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, so
but no,
good.
even our sister show In the Pits, they've never done anything like that. And I consider Christian, one of the guys, one of the
us.
boys. So hey, Christian, if you hear this out here, I'm challenging you. You better be in a costume for your Halloween episode this year, because you know what? We fucking will be.
Better be spooky, bro. Real spooky.
Spooky month.
If not, you're out of here. You're out of here.
Wait, how are we cutting Christian? He doesn't
I don't
work
know.
on this podcast.
I don't know.
All right, just
We're
want to
figuring
make
it out.
sure. But Brandon, I did prompt you there with the Mexican stuff.
Yeah.
Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, so look, it was a really long trip. We did a lot of things. We traveled to several different places. Talked about like the first 2 days there, ate good food and all. We honestly don't have enough time to really go over it day by day. But one thing I really did want to get to was the Museum of Anthropology that they have there in Mexico. Because
Explain to the audience, just in case they don't know what anthropology is. Just in case.
the history.
For Hatch.
No. I said for the audience, so it can't be for me.
Yeah, of course, buddy. And this was in Mexico City, right? Because that's where you guys were.
In the heart of Mexico City, yes. We were honestly like a 10-minute car ride down the street from it, and it really only took 10 minutes because of the traffic. So, yeah, it was awesome. That was at the top of my list. Actually, I think that was at number 1 on my list of what I wanted to do.
Quick question: is this like a famous museum? Like, is this
It
known
is.
internationally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So it's the history of us, humanity, right? And
The homos.
the
Homo sapiens.
yeah,
Homo sapiens.
Homo
people.
sapiens, homos.
Whoa.
No. I just wanted to make
Sa-
sure for the
Ooh, hold on.
YouTube censors, they understand what we're talking about.
I think someone did. He just get stalked in just now?
Sorry, no, a car alarm started going off.
He's got stalked.
So, yeah, and going over the culture and the history of Mexico and the people there. Hopefully you guys can't hear that still.
A little
Sorry.
bit. You're fine. Just keep
All
going.
right, so we walk in and super cheap to go. We were planning on doing a couple hours there. Man, we set aside 4 hours. Like, cool, that's more than enough time, we think. We walk in, this thing's huge, and it's like broken up into sections. There's 2 floors, broken up in several sections. So we start with the first one, and it's about evolution, right? It goes through the evolution of us and migration routes
From apes to apes with bigger brains because we
Yes.
ate mushrooms. That's, the Joe Rogan theory, obviously.
Yeah.
You mean the correct theory?
So,
Sorry, my bad.
I mean,
Sorry, yeah.
sorry. You mean the truth?
Yeah, thank you.
FTS facts.
I will say it was a little hard because about 80% of everything was in Spanish. But as I was telling Hatch, it's much easier to read Spanish for me than hearing it because I could see the words broken up and I could break down each word, right? So I understood a lot more reading than someone talking to me in Spanish.
So there's a lot less slang when it comes to the words as well, right?
Yes, yeah, it's literally by the book. I could type it in
More
my phone.
formal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, so there was definitely some stuff lost in translation, trying to read and stuff. But what I got the majority of it. But yeah, the first thing that I was like blown away with was you guys know Lucy, the oldest fossils that we found of I think it was I don't know if it was Homo sapiens, but it was part of our evolution. Yeah, it was the oldest fossil that we come from.
Potentially. I feel like I've heard that term Lucy before in referring to like history. Yeah.
I thought that when he first told me, I was like, Lucy, isn't that like the name of like the world's biggest dinosaur, like the first biggest T-Rex that was ever found or something like that? Or maybe it's Sue.
Australopithecus.
Dinosaurs are made up, Patch.
All right. So
not Homo sapien.
Yeah, anthropologists just put fossils wherever they thought they would go, okay? We completely made up T-Rexes. They're not real.
Bada bing, bada boom.
FTS facts.
No, that's a real fact.
Yeah. So she's nicknamed Lucy, but she's an earlier version of where we came from. Like the Homo sapiens then stem off from.
I was gonna say because I can't think of the name of it right now. It's because there's Homo sapiens, and what is the other big species that died out that we essentially killed off and raped?
Neanderthals.
Neanderthal, yeah. And depending on how much DNA of Neanderthal you have, you can tell how much raped your family was back in history.
Yeah,
that's a
you
fun
were
one.
part of the lower generation. No, but it was baffling because I like that history. I love our evolution and everything, and just seeing that, it's like, dude, this is fucking cool. I took a
We
moment
all came from bacteria in the ocean, dog.
Yeah, I just stood there looking, and like I was trying to explain to Michelle, like, do you know what this means?
Oh, and it's like all strung together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hatch is looking up stuff on his own now.
No, he said a link in the chat. He said a link in the chat.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. So
like what
it
it
was badass. That was the very first thing I that like.
Oh, the Wikipedia article. Cool.
So
the photo of what they potentially would look like. Those are some big ape titties.
Oh my god.
Scroll down, dude. Scroll down. Scroll down.
Oh wait, did they have like a 3D render or something? Let me see.
No, like what it would look like if it had like skin on it.
No, that was there too. That was there too. Yeah.
Some saggy tits, bro.
God damn.
Those things ain't perky.
Suck the milk right out of him, bro. Damn. They're dry.
This is the type of shit we can't talk about when we have guests on the podcast.
Ooh, that's the thumbnail. There you go.
Oh, dude, that is so good. That has to be the thumbnail, bro.
Open image in new tab. Save image as. All right, thumbnail pic.
Bro,
People are gonna have no clue what the fuck this podcast is
how
about.
many of those would it take to kill a human?
Those
One?
those are damn near apes.
Because that is an ape still. That still has ape strength but not
still
much
waddling
intelligence.
like an
That's
ape.
kind of the trade-off.
How do you know they waddle like an ape? Were you there?
Look at
I
them
mean, you
hips.
see how it's set up. It's
Yeah.
like in the monkey, like kind of hunched forward, but like got its butt out still position. You know, like how silverbacks do. They.
Yeah, you've seen Micah walk. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So.
I see that guy play the Doritos.
God damn it, boys. God
Dude,
damn
that
it,
guy
boys.
played. Dude, that guy. Let me tell you, Micah plays the Doritos bananas, bro. He is a freaking beast at it, dude.
Yeah,
You had to use that term?
That was a good one. Hey,
That was the one you had to
I
use?
could have used it. I could have used a different fruit.
damn, Hatch, you.
Yeah. No,
You know?
I know you could have. I know you could have.
So
Jesus Christ, boys.
yeah, so that dude, that evolution part was
Somehow
really cool.
I was about to say something worse. I'm glad I stopped myself.
Dude, so that evolution part was really cool. We spent like 45 minutes in that. It was really cool. They had so many other fossils.
Just like on that one exhibit, just looking like, yeah.
Exactly. And they had, let me do the 1, 2.
It's a huge museum, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Or?
They
2
had
floors and like
6.
4 different sections
They had
on
6,
each floor or something like that?
yeah, they had 6 or 7 sections on
Hey,
the
Hatch,
bottom.
I know you're looking at Wikipedia right now. Let's let the guy who's been there tell the fucking
No,
story, all right,
hey,
dog?
Well, you said it already. You said it already.
Yeah, I was telling Hatch about it too. But there's like 6 or 7 sections just on the bottom floor.
Okay.
So that was just the first one we went through. Then we start going to the history of like Mexico, right?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Viva la Mexico.
We go. The next one was like Teotihuacan that we climbed the pyramids on that we talked about last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that they kind of theorize of who built that because they don't know specifically, but you know,
It's almost like a Göbekli Tepe type
Yes,
thing, where like
yeah.
we have architecture here. We don't know who the fuck made it, but there is architecture here with dicks everywhere, and a citizen or civilization made it at some point. Yeah, look
Yeah.
into Göbekli Tepe. There's dicks everywhere. They loved penis.
Oh, dude, they loved penis in Mexico too.
I don't know what it is. Early civilizations, they
I'll
just
send-
worshipped dick.
I'll send one. Did I show you this?
Brando also worships dicks.
Yes, sir. Yes,
This is
sir.
too easy for Hatch. Too easy.
There's this big statue that they made. It was like male. What they say? Male appendage or something like that. And I'm just looking at it, dude. This bitch is like 4 feet tall.
Wait, 4 feet tall?
I'll send
4
a
feet
picture.
tall is. Oh wait, you're talking
That's
about the
pretty
dick.
small,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Right?
you're,
You know,
he's
like
talking about the
normal
dick
size.
itself is 4 feet tall.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, slightly under average. Yeah.
Damn! God damn!
It's very common for what, Brandon's seen in his life experiences. So, yeah.
Thank you. No, but it was So we go to that one, Teotihuacan. We spent some time there. So much pottery stuff, art. They loved their art. It was beautiful, right? And then we went to another one. Blanking on the name.
Another one.
Another one.
And there the notable one I remember was they talked about the game that they played where they hit the ball with their hips and their elbows, that we've seen in
Road to El Dorado.
Yep.
Road to El Dorado. I do remember that scene very, very vividly.
Yeah.
Every time I think of that movie, I just think of Elton John saying, "The road to El Dorado." Such a good song.
So good.
Yeah, so it is so much stuff that that was the most notable thing I can remember on that one because I couldn't wait to go to the next one, which was the Aztecs. Right?
Ooh, yes,
Talking
yes.
about the Aztecs.
Hell yeah.
But
Educate me.
Very fascinating civilization.
Yes.
But at that point, it was like 5:45. They closed at 6. They're shuffling everyone out. They wouldn't let us go in. And
Aww.
we look down. We're like, fuck. We just spent 4 hours here.
On like the first, what you said, 4 sections,
Yeah,
or
we didn't even 3. We didn't even get through half of it. I think there
Jeez.
was 7 actually. So yeah. So we got through almost half
Damn.
of just the bottom floor.
and I'm guessing just so much to see, like just constantly things to see, read about.
Yes.
I'm a slow reader, so.
Dude, everywhere. Not just there's eye level. There's they have stuff underground. They got these like almost monuments that you could walk through. Stuff on the ceiling. It was everywhere. So we did that. We're like, all right, we gotta come back. This was on Wednesday. We had stuff planned the next day on Thursday. Friday we had it open. So we're like, all right, we'll come back Friday morning. We have like 6 hours free Friday morning, and then Yvonne and her mom have to leave to the airport. So we did that. Went there Friday morning. Spent another 5 hours there. to go through the rest of the bottom, and we started with the Aztecs, and oh my god, that was my favorite one, because god damn it, they love their war, and
Amen.
Yeah, they were warring factions.
yeah, they were fucking bloodthirsty. We saw, I took a picture of it as well. We saw the stone that sits on top of the pyramid that they bent people over and sacrificed them.
Damn, how many lives do you think have been lost on that slab?
Yes,
Holy
where
fuck.
they pull their heart out. Their beating heart. They
Yep.
pull it out, and then right next to it was this like cauldron that they made that they would put over fire and just throw it in that cauldron right there. And yeah, I'm looking at that. I could fucking touch it. If I want, like, you know how many fucking human hearts were in there?
Yeah. That's one of those objects you're like, this is cursed. Like, the
I'd touch
amount
it.
of pain and torture that has been in this vicinity.
Dude, could you imagine if I touched it, the spiritual war around me that would go down between the Aztecs and the Night Marchers?
Night Marchers they'd be fighting the Aztecs for you.
That's what
Hatch.
I'm saying, bro.
You would touch it and you would just feel this spiritual like wind to go through the whole
Dude,
area.
no joke. I could write a fucking storybook about that shit. You know?
A storybook? What?
Storybook. A book.
I don't think that
tells a
was the word
story.
you were looking for, but good
I could
try,
write
Ash.
a book.
Fresno
that,
failed again.
Called, like,
Good.
called, like Spirit Traveler or something. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how every single time I touch a special something, you know, I get connected with its culture.
Hey, Hatch, why don't you get
What's up,
started
buddy?
on that, buddy?
Dude, I'm in. Like, let's go to Mexico again, Brando. Let's run it.
Go to Mexico again.
Let's go.
That has
Hey,
nothing
take
to do
another
with
week off
writing
work.
your book, Hatch. You can start writing your book right now.
It's already in the vault, bro.
But have
the
you
vault.
put anything on a page?
No, that's why I'll just use ChatGPT for it. No, I'm just kidding.
Just feed ChatGPT. Dude, what if that's what Richard Ryan did for his book? Are we sure he actually wrote it and it wasn't just ChatGPT filling in everything?
I mean, shit, dude. How do we know there's so much that's like not ChatGPT anymore?
I'm not gonna double check it.
I've never used
not either.
ChatGPT before.
I don't really use it, but funnily
scared.
enough, so a very old friend of mine, he's actually been on the show. I had a podcast with him back in the day, Derek Edwards, old guest of the
I remember
show.
him.
But I randomly reached out to him today. Haven't talked to the dude in 4 or 5 months, so I was like, hey, I'll give him a call, see what's going on.
That's
And we definitely have a friendship like that, where like someone will reach out for some reason, and then we'll touch base again. But so he's a business owner, and he's got family and a whole bunch of stuff. But he was telling me how like he started to use AI in like his business work routine and stuff. Like certain things like customer service, like dealing with parents of the kids at his business and stuff. He's like. He's now he told me he has like different GPT projects that are like kind of trained in certain ways, and so like if he has like a customer service question, he'll go to his customer service GPT and be like, hey, this is what this parent sent to me, what is kind of a good professional response to this, and then he'll like take whatever that is, edit it, make it seem more human and good. But it was really cool to hear from his perspective as a business owner how AI
How productive it
is helpful, because it is. There are good things that can come from it.
AI is the future,
past
bro.
all the doom and the gloom stuff, which is also very scary and very real too.
iRobot could happen, but no more homework with
Elon's
ChatGPT.
working on it, bro.
Yeah,
But
no
that's
more
actually-
homework, but bloodthirsty robots.
Because that's something that's fascinating that NVIDIA has been able to kind of break through is one of their biggest pieces of technologies that's come out this year is they have built this an essentially completely virtual space, using their GPUs, where they can give these AI models of like robots or like small vehicles, and instead of having them, run training in the real world, which takes a lot longer, they can run thousands of simulations of like, let's say an automated vehicle. How does it get over this little divot in the road? Well, if it practices doing that as an AI 1,000 times in virtual reality, it can for itself figure out what the most efficient way to cross those hazards are. And that accelerates the growth at which, AI things are possible for robots or self-driving cars or, things of that nature in the future. We're not there this year, but that type of technology allows in 10 years, these things are going to have been training virtually on millions and millions of simulations of stuff they could potentially see in the real world. And yeah, it's a fascinating conversation. It's a bit dull of one. It's a bit nerdy of one, and I totally understand that. But yeah,
the sci-fi
AI,
of it.
start using it. It's going to probably affect your life at some point in time. I use it to edit this fucking podcast. I'll be totally honest with that. But yeah, it's added into your workflow. It makes you a more productive human.
Our entire script is all brought to you by ChatGPT. You know,
Yeah,
the
our
entire
thoughts-
script of the show.
Our thoughts
Yeah.
aren't our own.
ChatGPT.
If you guys realize, when Brandon's talking most of the time, he's looking at his monitor, reading a teleprompter. These
Yeah, you
aren't
can see
his
my eyes.
actual thoughts.
I've gotten really good at not moving my head, but early on you could see my head going.
Yeah, it would
Scanning.
be.
It's like a lifeguard.
God damn,
Hell
you
yeah.
guys have had some good callbacks tonight. I'm proud of you boys. This has been a good one.
Yeah,
But
thanks.
It's episode one. It's
ChatGPT.
episode 150, dude. We're feeling it. Thank you, ChatGPT.
that's true. We're flowing.
Thank you, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, thank you for getting us to 150. Without you guys, man, we'd be fucked.
That's gonna be the title of this podcast. So we're gonna have the title be "Thanks ChatGPT" or "Thank you ChatGPT," and the thumbnail image is gonna be of Lucy. People are gonna have no clue what the fuck this podcast is about, boys. I love it.
Hey, thank you, Lucy.
Let's move on. Let's talk about another topic. A big one that happened over the weekend that I watched live and was awesome to see. We're going esports. We're going a little more old gaming stuff. But content creator, we talked about him on the show earlier, Ludwig. He has, a whole bunch of shit that he does. One of the things in his office that one of his coworkers and friends have set up is a 4-on-4 Xbox 360 LAN station. The dude in question, Nick, he played COD way back in the day, loved, trick shots, game battles, all that stuff. And so, they're a successful company. And so he figured, hey, that'd be cool if we invest, like $10,000 in making a dope LAN setup where people can come in and, we can play old COD matches and stuff like that. Well, they made their first bit of content with it. They held a little 4v4 tournament. It was Ludwig and his boys that, play in the office together. They call themselves the Penis Star League. Love that, PSL.
Oh, yeah?
They invited some members of FaZe to come over and do a Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, and COD 4 tournament. So a best of 3 series. Whoever wins 2 out of those 3 games, wins the series. The stakes were kind of funny for it. They did a $20,000 tournament. Except after the tournament ended and whoever won, they did a random number generator from 1 to 20,000 to see how much the loser would have to donate to charity. Spoiler alert, it ended up being $116. So
Not bad.
technically, at
It's a
the
win.
highest end, they could have lost $20,000. Really ended up only being $115, and then they did a double or nothing, so it was $300 that ended up being donated to charity.
Worth it.
But on the FaZe team, you had some of the FaZe's newer streamers, Jason the Ween, Stable Ronaldo. They did have FaZe Adapt, who came in and was kind of the OG of the crew. Dude who's been playing COD since way back in the day.
I mean, he's definitely saving FaZe for sure.
Yes, Adapt is definitely one of the better members of FaZe
He's one of the
at
reasons
this
why
current moment in
people
time. Still,
of our age still watch that shit.
yeah. So
For
and
sure.
it's not just stupid Lacey and fucking Jason
bullshit.
and all this stupid dumb IRL content. We're like, no, I remember that dude hitting 720 silent scopes. So like, yeah, I'm gonna still watch his content. He's cool. But they come in and they start off with Modern Warfare 2. That decided to be their first game in the series. Before the match starts, they decide to make a side bet. Obviously, Adapt's in the game. They're playing pro mod rules, so snipers are allowed.
Legendary
There's
trick
one
shotter.
sniper per team. So Nick, obviously the guy who, Ludwig's friend, but also has played COD for many years, he says, hey, I'm going to snipe for our team. He used to make trick shot stuff back in the day and do montages and all that. So he's like, I'm confident with the scope. Cool, I'll rock that for us. So before the match starts, Adapt and Nick, they're kind of talking and they're like, hey, if someone lands a trick shot, that's a rack. Like a $1,000 side bet. But they set the rules for it. Has to be a game-ending kill cam shot. And it has to be at least a 360. So those are the rules. If you get a game-ending kill cam with a 360 or better and it's a trick shot, that's a $1,000 side bet. Man, it comes to be. In the seventh
prophecy's been
round
foretold.
of a 8-round match, so Ludwig's team is on round 7. They need to get to 8 to win the game. They get down to a 2-on-1 situation. Nick and Ludwig, so the scope and the dude who's playing the game versus just Adapt. So just the sniper on the other team. Obviously, he doesn't have an ump. He doesn't have an ACR. He's not going to be able to turn on someone quickly and lays them down. They plant the bomb at the B bomb site on terminal. So right by where that AC vent is, where they have that drop down to the like second story side. If you played old COD, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Picturing it perfectly.
Adapt runs over, grabs that briefcase, opens it up, nicks on top of AC, throws down the stun, jumps off, 360, YY, no scope. Hits him clean.
So heroic.
Everyone loses their mind except Adapt, who is just...
He's mortified.
Staring at his monitor like, what the fuck just happened? And by the rules, it was a game-ending kill cam. You saw Nick's POV go through the air, slow-mo.
Lisa 360?
It was $1,000 side bet, and it was to clinch the MW2 map for his team, putting them up 1-0 in the series. They made a real version of it using only the best montage song that we have from back in the day. If you watch that version, it's on Ludwig's YouTube channel. It is nostalgia to its peak. It is so goddamn good. It reminds me of every Zergriz montage I remember watching. All the great moments back in the day. But that was the start to the series. It, you know, objectively, it kind of went downhill from there. There was no other trick shots or anything crazy. But seeing guys on LAN play Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, and Black Ops, it was so
Takes
good.
me back to 2011.
To speed up the story a little bit, PSL do end up winning the best 2 of 3. They lost the Black Ops 2 round, but they won the COD 4 round, so they won the match. And then, you know, FaZe had to donate $300, and it was like literally $300 on the dot, like $320 that they had to donate to charity, which was hilarious because all the FaZe guys start instantly cheering, and Nick brings up, he's like, "Why are you guys cheering about scamming charity?" And it was like, that's a good point. Why are you guys so happy right now? But no,
it's a tax write-off, bro.
Great live stream content. One of those fun things over the weekend that happens. They like set it up earlier that day, and then they come over and you see the whole thing go down. Yeah, just one of the comments under that reel they made was, sometimes you forget this is what it's all about. And sometimes 8 boys in a room playing COD, when someone does something dope and everyone pops off, that's what life's all about, man.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And dude, I love playing games like that where it's like you can just feel the hype, you know, just by a little victory, you know. It obviously,
that's
it's
why I love
pixels,
esports.
and it doesn't
hype.
fucking matter, and it's pixels. But bro, that's what we create from it. You know, it's the fire that's inside our fucking hearts over these pixels. You know, that is just so awesome because we all grew up as gamers. You know, not a lot of, I mean, a lot of the older generation that are older than us, they just don't get it.
No, because I guess they never had that like personal connection with video games and what it can draw out.
Pong and shit, and we're playing, you know, The Witcher, getting some really good development story, right?
Hell
and,
yeah.
You're like, oh, dude, you're wasting your time playing video games, bro.
Dude, another like reel that popped up in my feed today I wanted to bring up because we haven't talked about it on the show, but UFC. Have you guys ever heard of the fighter, the Korean Zombie?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, legendary fighter, one of the greatest fighters. He's retired now. Have you guys seen like the moment he retires?
I don't think. I think so.
Chills, dude. So he's fighting. I forget who he's fighting. He ends up losing the fight, but it's clear that his plan already was he was going to retire after this match. He's been fighting for at least a decade in the in the UFC. You earned your retirement, man. Like, it's cool. But so he's given this whole kind of heartfelt speech, and, you know, he's got a translator there who's doing it for him. And then they start playing his walk-up song, which, if you've ever watched the Korean Zombie fight, it's, you know, the fucking, what's in your head, zombie, hey, hey. The whole entire crowd starts singing his song as he walks out of the ring and looks up and just sees everyone giving him that moment. I remember watching it back in the day. It was a couple years ago. I got chills again today when it came back up because it's just one of those moments in sports that everyone understood what was going on. No one was too cool for the moment. They were going to sing this man his song one last time as he got to walk out with his head held high even though he lost. that's why sports is beautiful, and that's why we love things like esports and, you know, what paintball does and the stories that come out of it.
Because it doesn't matter how long you've been a Titan. You can't be a Titan forever.
Do you have to bring it to anime?
Well, I was mostly just talking, like, in terms of, like, you know, like being like a Titan of a team, you know what I'm saying?
No, I got you, but I feel like
Right,
there was a
now
vague Attack of the Titans reference there.
You know, I guess, since you said so, I'll
My
stab.
bad.
You linked
My
that,
bad.
Ryan.
Nah, good
caused
shit,
that.
Ryan. Good shit. I like that. I like that callback. Yeah, you've had some
you
good
do.
callbacks tonight. I like that.
Fuck you, Edge. But yeah, boys. So that was awesome to watch. We got one more kind of hypothetical question for the night. We'll kind of leave it off with. I know this is one of Hatch's, so I'll let you take it away, buddy.
All right, I got two. So, how
I don't
much
have
money
time
would
for
it
two.
take for you? How much money would it take for you to completely quit paintball? Hang everything up. You can't watch it anymore. You can't play it anymore. You can't even be around it anymore. How much money would it cost? And you can't tell your team.
Brandon, are you going to be Taylor and just fucking completely destroy this?
Yeah, I want $50 billion.
$1 billion? Yeah.
Damn.
No, I always try to be realistic with these questions. Dude, if some person came to me tomorrow with $50K in a briefcase and said I could never participate in paintball ever again, I would say yes. $50K
Really?
would help out my life a lot and definitely put me on a better path, and including the fact that I now have a job outside of paintball, I'd be okay with that. I would definitely miss people in the sport, but I'm being realistic here and being honest that if some magical genie offered me that money, I'd probably take it.
Yeah,
50K is your number.
it would. It's certainly, yes.
Because 50K, that's a lot of cash, Hatch.
That is a tons of cash.
Unless you are a streamer who has brain rot and no concept of money anymore, that is a lot of money. That's essentially a year's salary for a lot of people in America.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And dude, that is life-changing money. If you're anywhere near normal, that is life-changing money.
I think it can be. I like.
Depends on what you do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
If you buy a fucking, if you go buy a fucking
you could
fully
waste
loaded
it pretty
Camry,
easy,
bro.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
no, you could waste it pretty easily, but at the same time, it could set you up pretty well.
Absolutely, you know,
It
with
is
the right investments and everything.
nice down payment on a house. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's obviously where my mind went, but I
Love that for you, Brando.
honestly, I fuck, dude. Yeah, something like that would go a long ways. You know, someone came to me with $500,000. I'd have to think about it, but I don't know if I would. I don't like to walk away from it to stop playing, but I could still be around it. Yeah, that's easier to take.
Yeah,
But,
I'm talking.
like,
you can no longer. You can't even talk to your teammates anymore. Like you gotta
Can't
completely
watch
isolate
it.
yourself.
Can't, like, it's just no more out of my life. I don't know. I'd almost want to say like it. Almost no amount. No, there'd be amount.
Brando, you could take that money and start playing Speedsoft.
I then I gotta start liking dudes too.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I saw the way you were looking at that picture in the chat with the fucking 12-foot tall dick.
Oh yeah.
Fucking looking at speed softers like that.
Yeah. I don't. It would have to. Maybe something in the seven figures at least. Honestly, because I love doing it. I'd much rather struggle and suffer and do it rather than have something to change my life at the moment and not do what I want, not do what I love.
I think that's valid. I also think, to be fully honest, I think it comes from a perspective of I feel like I've achieved all I can at certain places in paintball.
That's valid.
I hate to say this, but I've worked with my childhood heroes in this game. I've had the opportunities to work on Hormesis Productions type stuff. Honestly, there's not very many other bigger opportunities in this game. Whereas like someone like Brando, I could totally see that, I've been working my, last 4 or 5 years since I've got back into this game to get to pro, to get to the pinnacle and compete on that stage and maybe one day win an event up there. So I could definitely see the perspective of like, I'm not done yet. Like, it has to be a lot more money to feel like I could walk away with this in a good conscience.
Yeah, that's definitely up there, but it's also like, dude, I don't know. It's too much. It's still too much fun, right? If it wasn't fun,
You wouldn't spend every weekend doing it.
Yeah,
100%. I like
You wouldn't
that.
drag your Latina wife out to a field to fucking play paintball.
And on top of that, like as Hatch may say, it's family's here, right? And not just like my blood, but
no, dude, it's
the family I love hanging out with. It's the people I thought about every single day I was in Mexico. It was fuck. I can't wait to get back to go see everyone on the weekend. You know, yeah. So it honestly take at least 7 figures, if not more.
That's valid.
Yeah.
okay. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you mentioned the family thing. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't felt that way in paintball probably since I stopped filming DMG. That was the last time I truly felt like I was a family member, a part of a team, because of that, relationship of being with those guys at every event, being at every practice, constantly filming and interviewing them and asking them tough questions. Ever since then, I've never really felt that same connection with a paintball team, and not, that's not anyone's fault or anything, and it's not like a bad thing even to say, but that is kind of the differences in like the media and the playership side is like, at the end of the day, we are kind of hired guns for people. We come on, we try to make you guys look good, but there's obviously medias who grow into that relationship, like I just mentioned with DMG. And hell, dude, I feel that out here. When I go out to the field, see all the Oni boys, and see the Austin Assault guys now, guys who I didn't really know before I moved out here, but they're definitely becoming the homies out here. But it's still kind of a different level. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, you haven't gone through the suck with them. Right.
Because I physically can't. What I
Hey,
do.
wait till Oni gets to pro in 2 more years. You're gonna feel the suck. You're gonna feel the suck if Oni gets to pro, dude.
Well, they can't make Sunday in a D4 event, so maybe we should fucking work on that first, Austin Oni.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Hey, Brando, we need to fucking whip those motherfuckers into shape. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get on them.
Because the Austin Oni I watched play at this last USXBL event will never be a pro team. That doesn't mean those guys can't be, but the way they played, come on, guys, we gotta work on some shit.
All right, dude, the fact that you're saying that, I gotta work fucking 10 times harder now. Gotta make sure that those guys are fucking.
I'm always honest with you, Oni boys. I want you guys to succeed, and that's why I fucking call out your race to 4 failure and not understanding the rules of the game that you are playing. Those are basic things that you have to know going into a paintball match. Am I playing a mercy format? Is this a race 2 format? How many minutes are on the scoreboard? What gun does what BPS does my gun need to be set at? These seem like trivial things the further you get into paintball, but you do need to understand those. Like, if you don't fully understand it, you're already kind of shooting yourself in the foot before you even get out to the box.
Valid. You gotta know the rules. Completely valid.
Yeah.
Damn.
100%.
So,
but yeah, I like that hypothetical, Hatch. I mean, you came up with it, but kind of what was your idea of what you would think? I'm guessing it's similar to Brando.
Yeah, it would have to be like easily in like the millions.
See, but the other thing I always run into with these questions, everyone always says, yeah, give me $1 million. Bro, $100,000 is a lot more money than you think it is.
yes.
Oh, I know.
And I'm not like calling you guys out on this, because I definitely feel your emotions are valid on this point, but I always hear people with these hypothetical questions who are like, oh yeah, anything less than $500,000 is just not worth my time.
Yeah.
Man, $250,000, that is a home.
Dude, you can tell these motherfuckers.
Home you can buy with cash. It may not be the best home. It's not going to be a good home.
You'll be psychotic if you don't even give it the time to think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're playing with GTA money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Honestly, that's a person who's never seen that type of money in their life. Like, that is stuff that people work their whole lives to try and have as a, investment in the bank of, I paid off a mortgage for 45 years. Now I have my home of $300,000 of equity that I can use to retire. Mm-hmm. Like, that's big for people. So I always try to bring that mindset in when I answer these realistic questions. Because, like, dude, a genie pops up tomorrow with $50K in a briefcase. That's a very serious contemplation for me.
And also, I think it would have to be like easily more than like $3 million for me. Because, dude, I truly believe that paintball can turn into something that who knows. Who knows? What if something happens and now it's like the fucking next booming sport?
Fair enough. Kind of like a opportunity cost.
Yeah. What? I think that paintball is so young, and we're still trying to send the feelers out. Like, look what they did with this event over in fucking wherever that was with Aftershock Dynasty.
Utah,
right?
yeah.
They're
still trying things at the
to
end
do
of the
so
day.
many, exactly, right? Like, the NFL probably tried so many things before it eventually got to what it is today.
The NFL is also over 100 years old.
Exactly, right? And this is the NXL. I mean,
Actually, I'm not
there's
sure
been
if it's
multiple.
totally 100 years old. I know it was like the 30s or 40s that
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
So like 80
There's been-
years, okay? It's a long
There's
time.
been multiple stages of paintball in PPL, PSP,
it's the
NXL,
MLB that's over
right?
100 years old.
Right? Like, there can be so many changes that we don't even know what the final form of paintball even looks like yet. So who knows? What if
Yeah.
it's over? What if opportunity cost we could get paintball to where people are actually making easily over $1 million? You know, you
I
never
also
know.
think, Hatch, in that reality, $1 million is probably super inflation and probably not worth what it is today. But
And you also got to remember, I'm accounting for superinflation. I'm accounting for superinflation, so
hyperinflation,
I need minimum $3 million if I
Venezuelan
gotta quit.
levels.
I need minimum. Run it up.
See, but that's the other
7.2.
thing too. Hatch, you take $3 million, you put that into a fucking safe investment fund, making you 5% a year. Let me do the math on that real quick. That is a livable wage.
Yeah.
That
At
is
point, I'll be sitting back,
$150,000 a
feet up,
year
you know, chilling.
that your money is just making. And you know how it's going to make that? Just by being in the S&P 500. All right? That is... My Uncle Woody has told me this my whole life, all right? You just put money there, and it will make you money over time.
That's why I have half of my 401k in there.
Yeah. That's a man who's listened to Woody's gamer tag since Mail Monday days.
Good shit, Brando.
Uncle Woody.
Woody's funny. I was gonna segue to something off that, but I completely lost my train of thought. Boys, did you have kind of any final thoughts for tonight's podcast? Getting towards the end of the main show, but not towards the end of the content. We still got the post show coming up.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say, special shout out to Impact and honestly Dave, because he brings out, his super team to practice us, and
He feels like the practice with you guys is worth it.
absolutely, right? And that's one thing that we want to show, right? When we were the D3 team and they would fucking blow us off the field, like we showed. And I remember I would tell Brando all the time, like, dude, we have to prove that these guys want to practice us. Like, if they are just fucking slapping us around, they're going to go somewhere else to practice.
Yeah, we have to be competitive.
We have to get better, right? And that was one of those things where when we made that jump up to semi-pro, dude, we were getting fucking shit on.
There was a
No
reason why we only
exaggeration.
played them one, maybe two times our first year.
Yeah, because they would blow us away, and they're like, dude, we're not going to waste our time with these
It's
guys.
just not
They
good
suck.
practice. Well, and
There
for
was
them,
one- here, I'm gonna say there was one weekend where they were supposed to be there both days. They only played Saturday.
Yeah.
They didn't even come out Sunday.
yeah, that's
was pretty
not a
bad.
great sign.
Right? So, I mean, it shows, and now, like, we're at the point to where we're
They
playing
want to come
longer
out
than they
double
are.
days. Yeah.
We play longer than they are. Like, they're packing up before we are.
Okay, that's always been a thing because they actually have to fly out to different places
Whoa,
on
I
Sunday.
wasn't going to say that.
That's been a thing
I was
since
not
Pro
gonna say that.
DMG, all right?
But it is what it is, right? So it's just a great
You got
opportunity that
JC
Dave
taking
provides
off
for us
at
at Capital
11
Edge.
o'clock on Sunday. We've seen that one happen
Yeah.
a couple times.
So, I mean, it's just a huge privilege that we have over at Capital Edge. And one thing that Impact was doing is they were even practicing like the local team. Like they threw Pink a couple points. They threw City of Trees
Okay.
a couple points, right? And it's like that's one thing that Dave is. We told Dave was like, dude, we want you back in the community more. And he's like, say less. And he fucking did it. And he was like, to where Impact is throwing out a couple points to these lower divisional teams. Sure, they're fucking destroying them, but it's like, dude, the fact that these D4 teams are getting a taste of what the upper caliber is like.
It's
is
a
so
draw.
And
huge.
also, that's such a tale as old as paintball itself. Like, Iron Kids, they got beat the fuck up when they were first jumping up into other divisions, and then they became Dynasty because they got shit on for so long. I mean, you have multiple examples of that, of like teams who were kind of the little brother team to another team, and then they just got shit on for 6.5 months, and finally were like, oh, we know how to beat you guys now. And then the turn switches, like San Diego Aftermath. That's a great example of that. They were the little brothers to all the SoCal teams. And then Mike's
Now
like,
look at 'em.
hey guys, you guys want to become the best people in paintball? You know what was on that team? Rainey, Mouse, Marcelo. Like, there's probably other players I can't
Bobby
think of
Aviles
right
was
now.
on that team?
Yes, Bobcat. Fucking was
I think
Short on that team?
I think so, and I think was LJ on that team. LJ Schwartz?
Potentially, we're getting out of my
Conspiracy,
knowledge
conspiracy,
here, but yeah. but example, those were all guys who, when they were 16, 17 years old, the reps they were playing were against Dynasty and the other stomping SoCal teams that were really big at the time.
Absolutely, and the key to
iron sharpens iron.
And the huge, thank you, Ryan, for saying that, right? So then the huge thing with that, dude, is you have to hold yourselves accountable. You have to hold each other accountable, and you have to, when you're in the circle and you're in the huddle and you're fucking looking at the guy directly across from you, you have to be able to rely on that player, right? Not only on, but off the field. Like, dude, it's different when you start to get that chemistry. And Impact is feeling our chemistry, without a doubt. There is no just, we're just going to fuck these guys up. Exactly, bro. Oh, felt plenty of my balls, you know what I'm saying? But,
God damn it.
Dude, it's just a different feeling now, right? It was truly iron sharpens iron. They were not just talking shit to us, and it was just getting swept under the rug. It was, they would talk shit, and we would stack it and finish it.
Fight back.
There was no like backing down just because they're Impact, and we made sure of that. I made sure of that.
Okay, Hash, honestly, stop blowing yourself, man. This has been most of the podcast tonight.
No, I mean, dude, it was not just me. And there were times where, dude, people were getting fucking heated, and even Chim was fucking yelling at him.
I appreciate that. I asked for a final thought 5 minutes ago from you and Brandon hasn't spoke once yet. So I hear this. I love this.
5 minutes.
Shout out to Capital Edge. Shout out to Edmonton Impact. Shout out to the awesome weekend it sounds like you guys had. Brandon, can we get a final thought from you on the podcast?
Let's hear it, dude.
It was a good week. That's it. No. It was these short weeks are always a little odd, right?
Yeah.
Recording from Thursday to Tuesday.
Whose fault was that, Brandon?
It's only Shell.
Whose fault is it usually? Because it ain't me and Hatch usually.
Dude, she's gonna break down the door like the fucking bell bearing hunter up at the castle in Night Rain and just fuck you up, bro.
Why did you go for that and not like Jack Nicholas?
You understand?
Yeah, like you could have gone for Here's Johnny and everyone would have understood that, but no. He doesn't even understand Here's Johnny. God damn it.
I do. It's from The Shining.
Okay, thank you. I was so upset.
Of course. I like Elden Ring more, though.
Yeah.
We know, Hatch. But
I even incorporate Elden Ring into my trash talk.
You did Elden Ring emote on people.
Yins are maidenless.
Jesus.
Okay, Hatch, chill the fuck out, buddy. You're talking a lot. Brandon, I do want to hear the end of your thought.
No, it's it was good. It's led these shows only with us, everyone. Dude, we're gonna be out there this weekend. Layouts dropping tomorrow. Fucking Cincinnati's coming up quick. It's weird saying that we're going to Cincinnati. Yeah, why Cincinnati? What the fuck?
That place doesn't look like shit.
You guys going to Ohio?
Down in Ohio.
Not jealous about that one.
Down in Ohio.
Yeah, we'll find out what the fuck.
I hope I get to see Nick Horn.
All right, I don't know what just happened there. I think, did your internet go out, buddy?
Oh, I think we might have just lost Brando, dude.
We might have lost Brando. Okay, well, let's start to wrap the show up then, I guess. It's a great time for that, and we'll get him back for the post show. But, boys, that was a fun one tonight. I definitely had a good time with that. We'll go ahead. Give me your code word of the week. We still need Brando's cool guy of the week. He'll probably join us back here in a second.
My code word of the week, I said recently, but I knew it was coming up. Accountability. It's kind of cut off, but accountability. Make sure you guys are holding each other accountable and staying disciplined. Stop bullshitting.
I like how he almost made it through the whole podcast, and then
he's like, dude, check out my new internet.
To get one on him.
Check out my new internet, dude.
Moment. God,
all
now
right,
I get another double video with him, which I got a Nest to do more shit with.
He just texted, said laptop took a shit. So if you want, I actually have a cool guy of the week. If you want.
Yeah, we'll get you cool guy of the week.
I don't know his exact.
Hatch has to waiting in lobby. Is he back? Do we have him?
We're
Is he
back.
there? He's back. Thank God. And your last thing was actually uploaded because your internet was good enough this time. So that's great. But we almost took away your spot. Hatch almost gave away the cool guy of the week. He did give us the code word, accountability. So who's the cool guy of the week, Brando?
Cool guy of the week. Let me fucking... Where is it? Let me copy. No! Sorry, I gotta pull it back up because my computer took a shit.
That happens.
I know.
With your decade-old laptop,
The
you
fact
record
that you
this
turned your
podcast on.
laptop on back that quick and got reconnected,
Dude.
that was lightning fast.
And usually it takes a little bit longer. All
That
right.
was a reset? That was a whole reset?
No,
That was fast.
it locks. It everything shuts down. It locks really quick. Then it comes back. But all right,
Packet loss.
here we go, dude. This little kid.
Oh, it's
It was
migration.
so heartwarming and so cool to see. His name's Reese. Right.
Witherspoon?
He's a 5-year-old kid. He's getting going to get his blood drawn, and he doesn't like it. He's been doing it for 3 years. He has cancer. He does it a couple times a week, and he's sitting there, tourniquet on his arm. Nurse is about to take it, and he talks himself into it. He hypes himself up, and he has tears coming down. He's like, "Oh yeah, let's go, let's do it." He talks himself into, instead of being afraid, dude. It was so like heartwarming.
Let's go, little man.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, tears rolling down his eyes,
Yeah.
looking right at it, just like, let's go. Let's go.
Right there. Holds his mom's hand, and oh yeah. Oh, dude,
Fuck yeah, little
snot
buddy.
coming out like
Fuck
he
yeah.
does not want to do it, but he talks himself into it. He's been
Fuck
doing
yeah.
it for 3 years straight too.
That's a badass
Hell yeah,
right
Reese.
there. Hell yeah. Shout out. You said Reese
Fuck
was,
yes.
was the name given?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He got his
Shout out,
consciousness
Reese.
early for sure. Fucking
He
badass.
gained consciousness early. Yeah, I would agree. He's enlightened. Fuck yeah, that's a great story. Love to hear that one. It's a good cool guy of the week.
Fuck yeah. Got a good thumbnail, good title.
Yeah, it's been a banger of an episode, number 150. And if you guys thought so at home, make sure you go ahead, drop a rating on whatever podcast platform or YouTube, on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Please leave a 5-star. We ask you to every week because it is free. It supports us and it pushes us up in the algorithm. More people are going to be able to see the podcast. It's not based off views. It's based off ratings. That's the only thing those platforms care about. So please take the 10 seconds, drop a 5-star rating. We would very much appreciate it. You can also subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. You're going to get a notification when the next show is live and ready to go, which is always Tuesday. We drop it every Tuesday. And then Patreon, we talked about it earlier. Got a Hormesis to give away. That's going to go out to someone, as well as other beautiful products from these guys. Here, show you guys the label so you see exactly which one you have the opportunity of winning. It's number 25 out of 36.
Oh, rare.
But yeah, so head over to the Patreon. Make sure you sign up for a paid tier. That way you get access to not only the giveaway, but our post-show content, which is an extra 30 minutes of the show. You also get access to the podcast earlier than everyone else. We drop it for you guys on the Patreon before the rest of the public. So that way you guys are, you're true homies over there. You're the ones supporting us, putting the show on the air. And as always, when we hit our magical number of 45, I think is what we said for the Hobby Horsing Championship, 45. Yep. So when we hit 45 paid Patreon members, we will be sending $200 to the United States Hobby Horsing Championship, so that way our logo is on a banner for them. We've made that commitment to you guys. So please go help us out doing that. We would absolutely love to make that happen. Last but not least, we also got to talk about our sponsors. Give you a quick reminder of them. I said them earlier on, but NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. Great little energy pouch is going to get you hyped up and ready for whatever you got at hand. Maybe getting your blood drawn. Actually, it might not be great for that. But NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. Promo code MafiaProductions, all one word at checkout. Buy 2, get 1 free. We also have Welts Clothing, weltsclothing.com. Brandon's got the Keep Struggling hat on. We love it. Also the strap. One of those is given away as well. Thanks to our partners at weltsclothing.com. Code FTS over there. Save yourself some money at checkout. Shout out to Scott, Stu, and Corey behind the scenes over there doing some great things for the local community of paintball. And then we also have Hormesis. HormesisPaintball.com. Head over there. Check out their apparel. Check out Hormesis Productions. All the great things that they are doing for the game. We love them enough. And hell, even go check out Gap, Great American Paintball, the magazine. That's kind of a part of the brand. They're doing sick things over there. Writing articles about things no one else in the sport wants to talk about. I respect you for that, Mike Jeffrey. You know exactly what I'm talking about, son. There's a cease and desist letter sent for that. Yeah, that's real shit. So yeah, Mike Jeffrey, we salute you. Boys, let's
go message Alex Frazier. Tell him I sent you. Tell him Hatch sent you. Go message Alex Frazier.
That's a good one. Just personally message him, not the brand Hormesis. Just annoy
message Alex
Frazier
Frazier
personally.
Tell him Hatch sent you. And you know what, dude? I don't know what's gonna happen after that.
That's fire.
Block
But boys,
me.
let's continue this going in the post show. Another 30 minutes for our Patreons. Hope you guys join us on over there. We would definitely love to see you. So for Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffat. This has been From the Sidelines, episode number 150. Jesus fucking Christ. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
We'll see you guys on the next one.